Let's do this, yo. Let's do this. What is poppin', everyone? Hope y'all enjoyed your Memorial weekend, but we're back to work, you guys. Let's get back to work. You know who it is. It's the most hated, yet the most anticipated. That's right, I'm back. Everybody's online tonight. Everybody's doing their thing tonight. Hassan Campbell, Adam 22. Everybody's pretty much doing their thing online tonight. But we got a story that we have got to address on my channel. That's right, you guys. We got a story that we got to address on my channel tonight. We got to talk about Bang 'em Smurf tonight, you guys. I know a lot of you have probably been waiting for me to speak on Bang 'em Smurf. So tonight, you guys get it, but let me get my chronic. Okay. Let's let everybody load up in here. Everybody share this video. Everybody load up in here. Let's go. Mike Floyd, what's popping? Steve Rivera, what's going on tonight? What's good with you? Brooklyn in the building. Major salute. Yep. Smurf actually had explained in one of my interviews that he was actually born in Brooklyn, not actually Queens. You know, just really letting people know it is what it is. T-Real 406, what's popping with you, man? Biggs Row, we're going to get into it in just a second. Everybody share this video. Let's get some people in here. Let's get some people in here tonight. And let's talk about this tonight, you guys. Hell, I'm gonna send the link so y'all can share this video to Smurf as well, so we can get Smurf in here tonight. Dallas is in the building. All right, salute to Dallas. Joe Reed, what's popping with you, man? Thanks for tuning in. Share this video, everyone. T-Real, okay, facts. Major salute. Maybe we can get you on tonight a little bit later to do an acapella freestyle. Salute from Boston. Definitely appreciate Boston tuning in tonight. We're going to get into the news exclusive. We're going to get into the news exclusive for tonight about Bang 'em Smurf. That's right, you guys. Let me get my Red Bull. All right. Like Smurf used to say, Red Bull and Henny. Major salute. Yep, 50 is his son's godfather, Todd Banks. That's Smurf's son, Todd Banks, who's actually a rapper. If anybody wants to check out Smurf's son's stuff, his name is Todd Banks. Let's get some people in here. Let's get some people in here tonight. Come on, we got 52 people in here. Let's get some more people in here. 53. 53, 56. Let's go. Come on, keep going. Hit that like button, you guys. All right. I'm going to roll up. I'm going to roll something up right now, you guys. You know I got some fuego on deck. Everybody share this video. All your platforms. What up, Jonathan? New Haven, Connecticut's in the building. Major salute. No grinder tonight. No grinder tonight. Come on, you guys, share this video. I know I got a lot of competition out there right now. You got Hassan Campbell, you got Adam 22, you got Jordan Tower doing a video pretty soon. Mike Floyd, was popping with you, man? Run them likes up, you guys. Share this video. I know people are going to run into this video in just a second, so I'm going to give everybody a second while I roll up before we get into, you know, everything. Prophecy Forever, was popping with you, man? Appreciate you tapping in. Major salute to you for tapping in tonight. You already know Mikey T, the movie star here. I was actually the vice president of Feed the Wolves. Smurf had given me that title after I came back from Trinidad. I had come back from Trinidad with a whole bunch of material, you guys. Like I came back from Trinidad with a year's worth of material in 2009. So I really turned up. Smurf and I had videos on World Star, not only interviews, but music video. I had music videos out with Smurf, and all that, promoting his new label, doing stuff with him in Domination, as well as Dice. But, all right, man. All right, man. 53 people. 53 people. Y'all is lit for tuning in tonight. Definitely appreciate you guys. I got some white runts on deck. And I'm smoking it out of a Dutch. Oh, this runts is so beautiful, you guys. This runts is really so beautiful. Appreciate everybody who tuned in and checked out the Hot Boy Turk interview. That interview actually is at 105,000 views. It's crazy. New Hot Boy Turk interview is doing crazy numbers. I put up the Throwback Cassidy interview, getting a lot of love from that as well. Okay, Prophecy said Purple Skunk rolled up. Purple Skunk rolled up. Okay. Who's going live on the gram? Okay. Someone's going live on the gram. Runts. Right. You guys know that's all I smoke. All right. Running the numbers up. Now we got about 70 people in here. Now we got about 70 people in here. Keep running them numbers up. I'm rolling up my L. Before we get into the news for the night. You heard what I'm saying? Yep. About to roll up this Dutch. 65 people. Keep running them numbers up. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. We got the topic of the night. Bang 'em Smurf ending beef with 50 Cent. That's what we're talking about tonight, you guys. I might have a couple special guests come in, but I need y'all to run them numbers up. Let's see what's going on here. Let me see what's going on here real quick. Everybody continue to share this video. We got some hot topics for tonight. Hot topics for tonight, everybody. Oh, I see. We're not even. Maybe I gotta switch. Everybody share this video. We are speaking on Bang 'em Smurf ending his beef. Bang 'em Smurf ending his beef with G Unit tonight. Bang 'em Smurf basically saying that he's done going at 50 Cent and G Unit at this point in time. Thanks, Yayo. You know what I'm saying? He's done actually going through these guys. New boy in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Share this video. Share this video, everybody. Appreciate you, Sean. My man Iron Mike said he's going to watch the Lakers and the Suns game at the same time as listening to this. Now, I appreciate you for tuning in on the reel. The bang on top Arab, free the man. Yep, exactly, new boy. Sharing is the key. Share this video, everyone. What up? What up? What up? What up? Obama. Okay. Obama runs. All right. I see you. I see you. I never had him, but I see you. All right. Let me roll my runs up before we get the show started. Let me get the show started, you guys, as I roll up this blunt of runts. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. Continue to share this video. Continue to share this video. Need y'all to share this video, guys. Tonight we're talking about Bangum Smurf officially ending his beef with 50 Cent after what, 20 years? Nearly 20 years, over 15 years. A feud that started in 2003 and now we're in 2021. 18-year rivalry. Yo, Dana, you're so in and out. Like, so just get out. Like, you're so like iffy on my topics. So just get out. Like, honestly. Everybody share this video. Stevie Strip and waxing service. Okay. Sean Wright, I actually haven't heard from Ab in the last few days. He's in the middle of going to a new jail, so I'm waiting to see when I'm actually going to be able to contact him, to be 100% honest with you. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting to find out right now. That's what I'm waiting to find out right now, but I do appreciate everybody checking out the Hot Boy Turk interview. The Hot Boy Turk interview went crazy. The Hot Boy Turk interview, over 100,000 views right now. Joe Mag says, Fifth ain't messing with no damn Smurf. Well, that's up for debate. It's up for consideration. You know what I mean? Not our consideration. I mean, we can all give our inputs and our thoughts on it, but that's up for the consideration and the debate of 50 Cent himself. What happens with them in the next few years? You know what I mean? As far as what Smurf was saying on it when he had a conversation with Queen's Flip, was that he had actually began to put together the first stages of mending the issues. The issue centered around a fight with him and Jaffe, a fight that him and Jaffe had gotten in together when they had been kicked out of the tour alongside another guy named Marcus. Steve says you did a great job on the PD Crack interview. Yeah, I dropped the PD Crack interview earlier this year in pieces. We talked about several different things. I had the opportunity to speak to PD Crack about how he first joined State Property, how he actually worked with Neo, how he went on to re-sign with Jay-Z after he took on a position at Def Jam. Yeah, we covered all that stuff, you guys. If you haven't seen my interview with PD Crack, I suggest you go check it out. 45-minute piece. Now, the Turk was just the first part. That was just the first part of my interview with Hot Boy Turk. Now, people are loving that, man. People are loving that right now. But in regard to Bangum Smurf and 50 Cent, Smurf had also acknowledged the fact that somebody that runs with 50 still to this day. A guy by the name of El Dorado. El Dorado actually is still around 50, and Bangham actually called El Dorado his brother. So that's another thing that you've got to take into consideration: the ties that Smurf still has, the respect that Smurf still has. You know what I'm saying? Like Smurf had the respect of rest in peace. He had the respect of Ice. You know what I mean? He had the respect a lot of the original G Unit guys. And that might be something that 50 still considers. For some reason, even after disbanding G Unit, 50 still buys new hats that say the unit. He still gets new jumpsuits that says the unit. He still markets and brands the unit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at that as well. G Unit is something that 50 holds dearly to himself. At a point in time, every rapper was looking at joining Death Row, or every rapper was looking at joining Murder Inc., 50 or Bad Boy, you know what I'm saying? Or Rough Riders, Rockefeller. 50 Cent went on to create his own entity that everybody wanted to join, G Unit. That's his baby. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty easy to see that, you guys. It's pretty fascinating that I get to break it down like that here today for all of you. Um, Ali says 50 called Smurf his baby. Yes, I did see that video where 50 said that Smurf was his baby, where 50 said that he actually made Smurf, and Smurf is just doing things that he has seen 50 do in the past. You know, 50 said that Smurf was basically trying to emulate his moves that he had made, whether it was telling people to do things in a certain dramatic way, or even if it came to the business tactics. You know what I'm saying? Even if it came to the business tactics that 50 saw Smurf implementing. Now Smurf also learned a lot from 50 as well, because 50 got his way into magazines like The Source, like Double XL, major studios. Smurf saw that and he recognized, I need to get in Double XL. I need to get into The Source. I need to make sure that Domination is on this mixtape and working with this DJ. So he used a lot of it too. So don't get it twisted, you guys. What up, Iceberg? Appreciate you for tapping in. We are speaking on Bangham Smurf tonight. Smurf actually went on Queen's Flips. He went on Queen's Flips channel the other day and said that he wants to end all of the beef with 50 Cent. He basically said he wants to end all the issues with guys in G Unit, Yayo, Banks. Basically he went into a lot of that. You guys can find that on the internet right now. Somebody's got it up as a little 25-minute piece where Smurf is just basically talking about how he wants to put all of the issues that he had with, or now he doesn't want to put them behind him. He has put them behind him. Smurf isn't going to go on the internet and talk negative in a negative fashion about them from this point on, is what he's saying. Smurf is saying that he is ending whatever beef he had with 50 Cent, you guys. Appreciate you, man. He says, Mikey T, the movie star, real hip hop news and live interviews. Salute Bangham Smurf. That's right. Salute Bangham Smurf. He's actually gonna have a second son any day. He's gonna have his second son. So I salute Smurf on that. If anybody wants to go to Smurf's Instagram and send him this stream link, I want you to go to Bangham Smurf IG and send him this link. Go to Bangham Smurf's Instagram and send him this link, you guys. Tell Smurf to come into this live video. Now we're back on the Bangham Smurf shit, you guys. We're talking about Bangham Smurf tonight because Bangham went on Queen's Flips Instagram Live. They had an Instagram Live the other day, and Smurf is ending all of his beef with 50 Cent. Smurf says he's putting all the issues that he once had with 50 Cent, with Banks, Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo. Maybe even you could throw Young Buck in there too. Maybe you could even throw Young Buck in there as well if we're talking all G Unit. But he's saying he's putting past all of his issues. He's looking past all of his past issues with G Unit and he's moving on. I want somebody to cut and paste this link right now and send it to Smurf's DM. DM Smurf on Instagram right now. Bang him FDW and tell him to come in the live with Mikey T. Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Let's get Smurf in here tonight. Because Smurf went on the live and he spoke about me as well. Now, Smurf has spoken on me twice now in interview format. He went on Queen's Flip's live show. He let all Queen's Flip's viewers know Mikey T was the vice president of Feed the Wolves. Mikey T was like a brother to me. Mikey T was like a brother to me. I had love for Mikey T. But he did some but we're going to talk about that another day. We're not really on here to talk about my issues with Smurf tonight. We're on here to talk about the issues that Smurf is putting to rest with G Unit. I think that's the most important thing out of this, is that Smurf is actually on a positive demeanor. Smurf is trying to move on with a positive aspect in his life right now. And I'm not going to say that's only because, he's having a child. I think Smurf was just, I think a year ago or a few years ago, Smurf was at a point of his career where he was just ready to focus on himself. You know what I mean? Where he was ready to focus on what he was doing as a man. We've seen he's been involved in many projects, from reality shows to pushing different artists. Currently, he's locked in with Bones, MC Bones from Germany, but he's been locked in with several other artists, aside from that. We saw the relationship that he built with Chinks. Smurf's career hasn't really only been hindered about talking on G Unit, although that's what a lot of people love to say. Now, I do respect Smurf because he said, all that G Unit talk. Honestly, I did that for Mikey T. That's what Mikey T wanted to hear about. And what can I do? How can I respond to that other than say, I respect that. I respect that Smurf respected me enough to give me the content that I wanted to present to all of you. Because you bet your ass that content I shot with Smurf in 2009, I came back with 20 hours worth of footage. Like, I bought one of these video cameras. It said you can record up to 32 hours of video on this. And I came back with damn near 30 hours of footage. And I made that footage go for a whole year. And then I went back to Trinidad in 2011. You know what I'm saying? I went back to Trinidad in 2011 and linked with Smurf again. And in 2011, that's when Ross actually brought him out. 2009, Fredro was actually out there. We were actually out there with Fredro for a few days. Fredro's a good dude. Fredro's a good dude. Smurf has always had a lot of connections. I wouldn't down Smurf on that whatsoever. Now, I will say this. Actually, I will say this. I did pay my own way to get to Trinidad as well. I mean, I did. And we even missed the flight on the way home. My bro Nick, Newport Nick, they called him, because Nick actually went to Trinidad with a bunch of Newports and shit. And everybody there was smoking like Dunhill, you know what I mean? And so Nick had the Newports, and Newport Nick. And then me, him, and Fredro, we actually missed our flight. Domination was good. He made it. So me, Fredro, and Nick kicked it for like 3 hours. Me and Nick had to stay there an extra day, but Dro was like, I'm out of here today. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened in that situation, you guys, with Bang'em Smurf. Smurf has always shown me love, you know what I mean? And I've always worked really hard. And like I was saying earlier, Smurf on that live actually let everybody know the connection that we have. You know what I'm saying? He let everybody know the connection that we have. He was like, yo, Mikey T was grinding so hard for me. I made him the vice president of Feed the Wolves. You know what I'm saying? And at a certain point in time, I don't think a lot of people knew that. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people knew that I had as much of something as I was trying to tell them that I had to do with Feed the Wolves. But there was like 600 people watching on Queen's Flip's channel with him and Smurf. Now everybody knows. You know what I mean? Now everybody knows the position that Smurf put me in over there. You know what I mean? Now everybody knows that Smurf had that much love for me to the point that he would say it. You know what I mean? That he looked at me like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad the world does know that after seeing that on Queen's Flip's channel. And, I'm glad that Smurf is just getting his shit together. You know what I'm saying? He has a clothing line, the Black Heart, Purple Heart clothing line. I'd love to speak with him. I'd love to speak with him on that. I want somebody to go tag Bangum Smurf on Instagram and send him this link so Smurf can come in here right now and talk to me. You know what I mean? I believe Smurf and I could have a conversation. Iceberg, send Smurf that link, man. Now, Smurf actually went on Queen's Flip's channel with a pretty positive outlook, although he's always getting distracted by the haters, you know what I mean? Because he loves to address certain shit, like how he addressed the Rochdale criticism he gave over the years, but noting he really messes with Circle 5. Sometimes he likes to clear shit up, you know what I'm saying? But Smurf made it clear on the last few lives, although we have issues right now, and this is not what we're here to talk about. Although we have issues right now, Smurf doesn't approve of anybody out there calling me a sucker. He doesn't want to hear people calling me a sucker. He doesn't think I'm a sucker. You know what I mean? Smurf knows how valuable I am to a record label. Smurf knows how fundamental I am to a record label. But we had something more than just a record label, you guys. You know what I mean? When somebody actually cares about another person and somebody actually has a relationship with another person, we can get more into it on another day. We can get more into it on another day, but Smurf had, got upset with me for actually interviewing the guys Trigger Rock and Troy the Boy, who were Snow Gang guys, New York guys. Smurf actually got a little bit upset about that. Smurf never in the past got upset about me going to the G Unit headquarters. He never got me doing interviews with Kid. You know what I'm saying? Linking with DJ Epps, who was loosely affiliated with that brand over there. He never got upset, Red Spider, anything like that. He never got upset about anything like that. But you got the whole thing about the situation that happened with Trigger and Smurf in Queens. They don't even know each other. They don't even really know each other. And, Smurf doesn't even really know my relationship with Trigger to really be judging it like that. I don't know if anybody on here actually saw. What up, Ozone J? Appreciate you for tuning in. I don't know if anybody in here actually saw my interview with Trigger Rock. This was before he got locked up. It actually did quite a few views, like 30,000 views or something like that. But this interview it comes after me knowing this cat like 4 or 5 years. Like I had him come out to Miami back in the day when he was rolling with Young Dice. You know what I'm saying? I seen him meet all the guys from MMG. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna leave one of my dudes to drown. When I noticed Trigger Ock was making a name for himself in New York, I decided to give him a little bit of a window. I decided to give him a little bit of an opportunity. I wanted to show him love. These guys from New York, they need an opportunity to thrive. I don't want to be judged for giving Trigger Rock an opportunity. I don't want to be judged for giving Fab Don an opportunity. The same way that Queen's Flip doesn't want to be judged for giving Maybach Dice an opportunity. The same, you know what I mean? The same way nobody wants to be judged for giving certain people opportunities, you guys. I known this cat for 4, 5, 6 years. I seen him when he had no buzz to his name whatsoever. You know what I mean? And then I see him with a buzz. This cat Trigger Rock came from nobody knowing who he is to getting the acknowledgement of 50 Cent. And you know what? No matter what Smurf and 50 went through in their past, all due respect to what they went through in their past. But this little cat, Trigger Rock, who really had nothing to start with, who built himself, who crawled from under a rock and built himself up to be something, getting the acknowledgement of 50 Cent, you're damn right I'm going to put a light on him. You're damn right I'm going to put a light on him because he deserves it. He deserves a light to be shined on him. But no, some people just don't like shit like that. They're like, nah, that's my enemy. Let him chill in the dark. Nah, man. I known that kid for 5 or 6 years. I known this kid Trigger for 5 or 6 years, and he started to establish a buzz. And he got 50 looking at the group of them all, of Trigger, Fabdon, Snina, whoever else was in the group. You know what I mean? I don't know off the top of the head because I really stopped messing with all them cats like that. But yeah, sorry about that, y'all. I'm rolling up. I forgot I was rolling up. I don't want this blunt to get too stale. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Iceberg, Bangum Smurfs. Its IG is Bangum FDW though. Did you just send that to his Twitter or something? Rolling this shit up, you guys. Excuse me. Bear with me. Share this video, everyone. Share this video. Breaking news. Bangum Smurf has decided to be the bigger man. Bangum Smurf has decided to be the bigger man, and he's going to walk away from the issues that he has with 50 Cent. And you know what? I think that's respectable. I think that's commendable. This is a feud this is a beef. This is a war that has been going on for nearly 20 years, you guys. Guys, this has been going on since 2003, quite possibly a little bit before that. You know, maybe, I think it was actually right after Get Rich or Die Trying. So it's been going on longer than 18 years at this point. Hell yeah, last verse. All right, man. Salute to you, bro. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. And please, bro, share this video. I support everybody. Last verse. Yup. Shout out Bangum Smurf. I'm on here giving Smurf his flowers right now, man. I'm on here giving Smurf his flowers, to be honest with you, because he had a couple opportunities to really dig in and diss me on a couple lives, and he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Some people were on live saying Mike T's a sucker, and he's like, nah, Mike T's not a sucker. Mike T's confused. I'm not confused, but I'm not a sucker either, and I appreciate him for saying that. That's some real shit that he actually said that. That's some real shit that he actually said that. But also, what I think a lot of people out there will think is real is that he's decided to put a lot of his issues behind him. You know, more importantly, Crackman, if you want me to address that, hit the Cash App with a donation, bro. Hit a super chat donation, bro, if you want me to answer that question. And ask the question with a super chat donation. You're asking something that's been explained 1,000 times. Steve Drive Lamron says, Bangum Smurf served his 10 years. When is he coming back to the U.S.? That's another question that Queens Flip actually asked Smurf. That's another question that Queens Flip actually asked Smurf. And let me be the first to say, congratulations to Smurf. He's actually having his second son. Smurf's first son, Ta Banks, actually, he's an amazing rapper. Now that 50 Cent is his godfather. Now Smurf is having his second son actually in Trinidad. I really want to send blessings to Smurf on his second son. That's amazing. So it really looks like Smurf actually has found himself. You know what I mean? It looks like first Smurf has actually found happiness. You know what I mean? When it comes to Trinidad, you guys, Smurf has been out there since 2008. You know, so that's actually, I think Smurf said he's been out there for 13 years at this point. Yeah, that's 13 years actually. He's been out there since 2008 when they first did those videos with him and my homie Six and Kino. When I got lost in Trinidad, Kino actually cried. This dude, Kino, actually cried. He thought I was gone. He thought I was done for. Oh, Darnell, you're waiting on that new Dark Low interview? You're waiting on that Dark Low interview? It's coming, bro. Wait till you see it, man. Wait till you see what I got written up for this new Dark Low interview, man. Yeah, Pete. I got a whole dope interview written out for Dark Low's Borrowed Time album. I think everyone's gonna love it. We're talking about everything on this from Tupac to Mobb Deep. You guys, we're talking about everything that Dark Low mentioned on Borrowed Time. All right, cool, Iceberg. I appreciate you for sending the links, beloved. On that Ricky Rose. Y'all are gonna have to wait for it. Go watch my last interview with Low. Y'all are gonna have to wait for it. Probably come out this week or next week. But the next part of my Turk interview, where he's speaking on the Cash Money Rough Riders tour and a big fight that took out between the Locks and Benzino backstage. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. Steve Lamron says, I never thought deportation was forever. If so, Smurfs never fit in to meet up with 50. Well, you know, Trinidad is actually a pretty hot spot, Steve, for a lot of performances and a lot of endorsement offers. You know, a lot of the rappers have gone over to Trini, man, from Ross to French to 50 was actually scheduled to go over there at one point. Sorry, guys, I'm finishing this twist up right now. On that Ricky Rose, because every day I hustle. I haven't actually done the interview with Dark Low yet. We're doing it. We're most likely doing it tomorrow. Yo, y'all need to go tag Dark Low right now, actually. Y'all need to go tag Dark Low right now. Everybody tag Dark Low now. I don't know how many people are actually going to do this, but everybody go tag Dark Low and tell me y'all want to see the new Mikey T interview. Nah, Smurf has me blocked on IG, you guys. Smurf has me blocked on IG. That's why everybody needs to take this link and go tag Smurf and DM him. DM Bangum Smurf. DM Bangum Smurf. This link, you guys. But overall, I think it's good that Smurf has cleared the air, that Smurf is moving on from the beef with 50 Cent. You know what I mean? Because he's really just got to look at it as a part of his history and use it as a springboard. You know what I mean? Like he's done with other situations, like how he basically springboarded from Lost Boys to G Unit. You know what I mean? Springboarded the G Unit to a successful deal with a somewhat deal with MMG. You know, he was actually speaking on his relationship with Mass Pike Miles. Major salute, Mass Pike Miles. Money Marvelous Multimedia says they should have been ended that disagreement. Yeah, man. Honestly, Money Marv, to be honest with you, might want to change the name to Money Marv. But to be honest with you, man, I think 50 was ready to end it. You know, at a certain point, and this is something I would have to ask Smurf if he came into the live, and y'all can send Smurf this link. IG Bangum FDW. I would have to ask Bangum about when he completed Domination's project and 50 called him and said, yo, make sure the G Unit logo is on Domination's project. Right there, that is evidence to me that Smurf still had ties to G Unit. But how many people in here know that? Do y'all know that, or is that news to you guys? Because that's something I've known for a while. You know, at one point when Smurf had been sent back to the hood, you know what I mean? I mean, he didn't really get sent back to the hood. You misbehaved on tour, man. You put the tour in jeopardy. It's not that you got sent back to the hood. You put the tour in jeopardy. You know what I mean? You put some of the other guys from your neighborhood in danger, you know? especially when you are in the bus, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you are in the bus and chilling with Young Buck. You're chilling with Young Buck in the bus and you're worried about two guys, Jaffe, I guess Jaffe was one of the other guys, and then Marcus, who actually had contacted me at a certain point many years ago. And you're involving yourself in their dispute, you know, and you're taking yourself out of the element where you're almost basically G Unit. You know what I mean? You're almost as G Unit as Buck and Banks and Yayo. You're taking yourself out of that element, man. Ors Trinity. Smurf actually went on Queen's Flips live the other night and basically renounced all of his bad energy for 50, G Unit, Banks, Yayo, all the guys. Smurf said he's really not focusing on that whatsoever anymore. Oh, Prophecy Forever makes a good point. He says if 50 got cool with Game and Fat Joe, him and Smurf can too. Now, 50 and Game have actually gotten pretty cool. You know what I mean? They seem pretty cool. Now, 50 and Game, they're cordial. They're more cordial. If they see each other at an event, they can go there without actually having to worry about it. They might even shake hands and take a picture. Now, Fat Joe and 50, they actually seems like they've struck up a little bit more of a friendship than what the Game and 50 seem to have at this point. Big. What year are you talking? No, 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 no. It was 2003, bro. Smurf was locked up by '04. So when Smurf had got kicked out of G Unit during, I would have to say it must have been the Get Rich or Die Trying tour. Um, when he in 2003 he went back and he started working on domination, you know what I mean, instead of his, he started doing what, you know what I mean, he started doing what he learned with 50, taking domination's records, taking them to the radio, you know what I'm saying, getting domination in the studio, starting a mixtape series. Eventually when he got to Koch, he had cleared samples from Tupac that he brought to the radio that he used on domination's project. You see, these are all things I would talk with Smurf about, but he didn't understand how powerful of a platform that we were going to have here in front of all of you. You know, he really didn't believe in it. You know, he didn't believe in what we were doing too much. Or maybe he did. You know what I mean? Maybe he did, you know, because I would say Smurf really did believe in me. You know, I would say Smurf believed in me, man. Although he told me one time, although Bangum Smurf did tell me one time that if he had been G Unit the whole time, he would have never known me. That was a little, that was kind of an asshole thing to say. Yeah, Big says, I loved when the Silverback Gorillas, and that for anybody who doesn't know, that was the name of the label that Smurf in Domination had. It was the Silverback Gorillas. That was before it was known as Feed the Wolves. For anybody that doesn't know, Big says, I loved when the Silverback Gorillas were working with Yuckmouth, Sibo, and the Regime. Yeah, I like that portion. Smurf was just working heavy, man. Smurf was getting features, like I said, using the affiliation with Koch Records. In that situation they had with Suge Knight, you know, Koch Records was affiliated with Suge at that point. Suge had gone from Interscope to Koch, and Smurf used that to get Tupac. Smurf actually used that situation with Suge to get to Corrupt. You know what I mean? Yuck Mouth, guys like that out there. Maybe not Yuck Mouth. I think he had issues with Suge. Untitled projects. You remember Smurf and Domination performing at the Tunnel? Damn, that's lit. Money Marv says, Money Marv, did you really just change your name to Money Marv? I like it. Money Marv, Smurf grew up and matured. I think he understands his mistakes, and that wasn't good for business. Salute to you and Smurf. Yeah, yeah, you know, honestly, man, like I was just talking about, Smurf went back to the hood and he started working with Domination, the guy who was battling Lloyd Banks, the guy who was pretty well known. You know, if you're battling Lloyd Banks to a draw, you're pretty well known, I would assume. So Smurf went back to the hood and started with this groundwork project, you know. Um, he started this groundwork series, and he actually got the call allegedly from 50, put the G Unit logo on there. Now, I think at this point in time, Smurf was too focused on becoming a bigger entity than 50. He was like, yo, you don't want to mess with me? I'm going to be bigger than you. I'm going to be the voice that you can't, you know what I mean? He just wanted to outshine 50. He wanted, but in reality, he really should have took that opportunity where 50 was actually going to use one of his acts, because 50 in his book, I guess, said that Smurf always brought me different talent. He said Smurf always brought me artists, and none of them really, I was never really interested by any of them. So Smurf was kind of looking at, or Smurf was kind of looked at by 50 as an A&R. 50 kind of looked at 50 kind of looked at Smurf in the A&R position to where he would actually bring in talent. We saw Smurf working with Domination. We saw Smurf working with Big Swing. We saw Smurf working with the 9-year-old rapper Young Dice. He was out there grinding, trying to bring different opportunities. You know what I mean? He was out there trying to bring different opportunities to Fifth. So it's very interesting to me that 50 would call Smurf and actually tell him to put the G Unit logo on there. And Smurf didn't have the business sense to do that. And like you're saying with your comment, I think you're right. Smurf has grown up over the years and realized it's more about business. It's more about getting to the bigger bag than feuding with somebody, man. Like they could have got so much more money turning Domination into the next rapper on G Unit. You know what I mean? Turning Domination into the next rapper on G Unit rather than, you know what I'm saying, feuding with one another. Look what happened. Beg for Mercy became one of the biggest albums. 50 Cent for when he didn't even drop a second album. He decided to go with a G Unit album. Beg for Mercy. We more than likely could have had Domination featured on that album. Hell, Tony Ayo ended up going to jail. If Smurf played his role right, Domination could have stepped in and there would have been no Young Buck. But these are all things I would have to address with Smurf live here. Yep, I hear you. I hear you, man. Iceberg said Smurf doesn't realize the power of the internet and YouTube. He's old school. Mikey and Smurf could have had a damn podcast by now. Oh yeah, big facts, man. Big facts, man. Me and Smurf were onto some major shit. You know what I mean? We were onto some major shit. Born Twice says, I would love to work and make music with them and Yuck Mouth and anybody from No Limit Camp and BG. Okay. Drew 730, what's popping with you, big dog? Appreciate you for tuning in. Tyrone, what's good with you, man? Yep, you're right. That's what he said. He actually said Smurf. Money Marv said Smurf grew up and matured. Yeah, you know, I can honestly say I wouldn't do things the same way right now if I was, you know what I mean? When I was 21, now that I'm 32, I wouldn't do things the same way at all. You know what I mean? You just have a whole different perspective in life. You know what I mean? With all the experience that you go through and everything that you either, accomplish, whatever you succeed at, whatever you fail at. What y'all smoking on tonight, though? Well, Steve, there's actually video footage of that. When 50 and G Unit were performing at Summer Jam, they started throwing bottles at G Unit, and they ended up throwing chairs at G Unit. Runts over here too, man. Smoking on the runts myself. Drinking on Red Bull. Damn it, last sip. Had to come on here tonight and address this whole situation. You know what I mean? Because I think it's great. I think it's great that Smurf is actually ending all this BS with 50. Damn. Sipping on Mo. Well, Global Star Entertainment, salute my dudes in the building. In regard to them having a conversation, Smurf spoke on the fact that he is now good with the dude he fought on the incident that happened while they were on tour. He said that was pretty much the first part of the puzzle in putting together the relationship once again. He's ending the issues that he once had. You know what I mean? He's ending the issues that he once had with the situation that had turned violent. Yep. Yeah, Steve. Smurf kind of used me as a scapegoat. You know what I mean? I was kind of used as a scapegoat, but you know what I mean? Like, what can I say? As long as you're getting mentioned, it's a good thing. Like the fact that these guys are mentioning me on platforms. And shit, but tonight we're not talking about my issues with Bangum Smurf. Tonight we're talking about Bangum Smurf ending his dispute with 50 Cent. That's what we're talking about tonight. What's going on? The Bank series. And my guy smoking on that peanut butter breath. All right, Drew. Okay, Young D. That's funny. Young D says he's about to pop a Bud Light and smoke a blunt of that Blue Dream. That's funny you say that because in 2011, I go out to Trini, right? And Smurf had us smoking the best Blue Dream I ever smoked in my life. Smurf got like an ounce of some Blue Dream. Ross came. He gave Ross this big ass pile of Blue Dream. It was awesome. Ross gave us like however many bottles of Moet Rose we wanted. I counted like 6, but there was just coolers of it. We were all in the VIP, and Ross was smoking a raw white boy of the Blue Dream that we were smoking. And let me tell you, yo, I'm not a big fan at all, Young D, of Blue Dream. But yo, this Blue Dream I had in Trinidad was top notch, yo. It was top notch. Major salute to Trini. I loved going there. I actually was in Trini for probably a total of 18 days. Let's say, all right, so 10, let's say 17 days I was in Trinidad. The first time I went for 9 days, ended up staying 10 because I missed my flight. And then the second time I went for a week. Big up to Trinidad. Okay, the Bank series said I'm on Australian time here and it's 12:59 and it's Thursday and I'm smoking up. Major salute to Australia, man. I know a lot of y'all out in Australia know about Bangum Smurf, huh? That's why you're in here tonight. You mess with Bangum. Really appreciate that. I really appreciate you tuning in tonight. Let me see. Big says, after their fallout, did 50 ever send a dime to Smurf? What's the truth? On one podcast, he says yes. On another, he says no. I'm confused. Well, Big, you might be getting confused because at one point, Smurf had a company with 50. It was called Hollow Point Entertainment. And Smurf signed off on the company. And I guess he allegedly got $10,000 to sign off on the company. I'm not really sure the true facts of that. You'd have to go back and check out maybe one of my blogs where Smurf was speaking on it, if we ever really did speak on it that in depth. So Smurf actually got $10,000 to sign off on a company. Now that is where you could be misconstruing the information. That might be the last time that Smurf ever got money from 50. So don't take that into consideration and you asking if he ever sent Smurf a dime since he's been deported. Since he's been deported, probably not. But I don't know. I don't know, man. Couldn't say. Couldn't say if they've ever spoke or not. You know, I wouldn't find it too hard to believe. I wouldn't find it that hard to believe that Smurf has spoke to 50 Cent. I wouldn't find that hard to believe. You know what I mean? But then him not telling everybody. That's right. That's white. Ray says, did 50 end his beef with him? Is the question. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are going to ask. They're going to say, so Smurf said he's going to put this behind him. Maybe Smurf has done that before a time or two. Maybe Smurf before in the past has actually decided to go back on dissing 50 and then went back at it, in the past. But the question really is, what's 50 going to say about this? In the past, 50 has said, Smurf is my baby. I know he'll always come back to me. That's pretty much all we've gotten out of it. That's pretty much, at one point, did you guys all see the video where 50 had hung up a picture and it was like the Feed the Wolves plaque? Did anybody see that video back in the day? I wasn't sure if it was real or not. Waited too late. On code always says waited too late. Yeah, yeah. And I'm going to say he waited 20 years too late or 18 years too late because, like I said earlier, 50 called Smurf and said, put the G Unit logo on that mixtape you're promoting. He waited too late because 50 called him 3 or 4 months later and said, yo, put the G Unit logo on your tape. Iceberg says 50 never had a real issue with Smurf. 50 would dead the beef. He knows Smurf put his life on the line for him. Yeah, that's why I'm just saying, man. Like after he kicked him off the tour, 50 caught wind that they were working. You know what I mean? Smurf legitimately didn't have to. Smurf legitimately didn't have to go to Koch Records, you guys. Smurf could have come back and worked with 50 over at Interscope. Like in all of, you know what I mean? Like 50 told him, put the G Unit logo on Domination's project. Smurf started working Domination just as hard as 50 worked G Unit back in the day, man. Tell me if I'm wrong. How many groundworks are there, you guys? Smurf started working Domination like Max B type shit, man. Smurf knows how to do that. RZA Dog says Smurf don't want it with 50 facts. In what regard? Because back then, Riz Dog, that's where Smurf went wrong, wanting it with 50. Smurf went wrong, wanting it with 50, trying to compete with 50. Bro, 50 thought he was probably going to move 150,000 units first week like all the other guys. 50 moved 800,000 units 2 weeks in a row. 50 blew all expectations through the roof. And you jumped off that wagon? I'm sorry, man. Look what Lloyd Banks came and did after that. Look what Lloyd Banks came in. Smurf could say, yo, Mikey T, if I was G Unit, I would have never knew you. Well, you should have. You should have. And I would have told you to fall in line and wait for our time to release. Sorry, I was going on a little rant there. Hell yeah, Husky. We're going to have to do a review for that album. The Course of the Inevitable by Lloyd Banks. Everybody go get the pre-order. Everybody go get the pre-order. Steve says, yo, Mikey, how was you guys effing with Ross when everyone knew he was a correctional officer? Well, honestly, man, the whole situation with Rick Ross, that was a situation that was put together with Bang'em Smurf through Mass Pike Miles and Fred Rostar, you know? And then Ross actually met Dice at one point, and apparently, from what Dice told me, Ross just thought he was a superstar credit quality artist. So Smurf looked at it like, Smurf looked at it like, okay, I got Domination popping off. Like Domination is popping off on the independent market. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna have Dice go work with MMG. We honestly looked at Ross like he was a musical genius. That's why we worked with Ross, because he was a musical genius and he worked with Smurf without caring. Like Ross was all over so many different records saying, bang 'em, Smurf. What are we doing? Bang 'em. What's good? Bang 'em. Like Ross was showing all types of love to Bang 'em Smurf. It would have made a lot more sense if Smurf was able to come back to the United States. It would have made even more sense if Smurf was actually the rapper in that situation. So I guess it should have been the Bang 'em Smurf and Domination album that came out under MMG, just to be 100% honest. And we all know Dice featured on those albums heavily. So I don't think it would have been an issue there. I think that's what because Smurf and Damo were kind of, they were like that duo pairing. Smurf obviously wasn't rapping, but he was heavy on the ad libs. Major salute, Larceny. Major salute, Larceny. Yo, send this StreamYard link. Larceny, send this StreamYard link to Smurf so he can tap in on this video. If you could send it to him on Facebook, man. Steve says, didn't you feel that Ross only used bruh? Honestly, man, Ross put Smurf on his Deeper Than Rap album on one of the closing credits on one of the ending tracks. You know what I'm saying? Ross showed a lot of love. He actually put out a couple records with Dice, the "Blow It in the Sky" remix. He actually did Dice on the Quiet Storm remix with Young Breed as well. So I don't feel that Ross used Bang 'em. I've even seen messages, like Smurf has shown me messages from Ross to him about Dice, telling him like, "Yo, man, like we got to do something different with Dice. Da 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 da. Dice needs to focus on different projects, etc." I've seen messages like that, you guys. So the shit was real, y'all. You know what I mean? The shit was real. Appreciate you, Larceny, man. Appreciate you, man. Mike Smooth, Dice is doing music with Lazy Bone now. Yup, exactly. It's just like I was talking about earlier, using situations to springboard you, you know? The relationship, I believe it was the relationship that Bang'em and Domination had with Lazy Bone at the beginning that actually catapulted Dice into working over there, you know? And Lazy just saw that Dice had so much talent. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna work with this dude." Born Twice, ask your question again. And Steve, I think I pretty much argued your question to a good extent, man. Well, SB Chase, I don't know what type of time 50's on. 50 probably doesn't give a damn. You know what I mean? 50 probably doesn't give a damn. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that, man. I shouldn't say that, man, because that's more of a question I should ask Smurf. Like, Smurf, does 50 care that you apologized? Oh, okay. Mac McKenzie says that 50 already said in a prior interview that he'll never mess with Smurf again after he got his enemies tattooed on his face, MMG and Coke Boys. Yeah, I actually saw that joint. And Smurf actually responded by saying he never tattooed MMG on him. So that's actually wrong, Mac. Smurf never tattooed MMG on him. So but he did tattoo Coke Boys on him, but I think that had a little bit more of a meaning. Had more of a meaning than you know what I mean? Than just a lot of guys out there who tattoo MMG on their body. Just because it's a cool looking logo, people be tattooing MMG. They be tattooing the Maybach logo. Whatever. Oh damn. Oh damn, big. That's cool. That's cool. Zeke's RC said, "Y'all friends now?" Nah. Smurf ain't really jacking me, bro. Smurf ain't really jacking me. Tech 9, bro. Tech 9. Tech 9 over everybody. Yeah, Sean. Banks and Freddie Gibbs. I seen that comment and I'm just, yes. Yes. That made the track even better to me. Smurf was loyal to a fault. Yeah, yeah, man. We all been there, man. We all been there too. You know, it's like me. It's like me. I was so loyal to Smurf, but it's like I would be loyal to Smurf to a fault. It's like I would be loyal to Smurf and not want to interview other people. Like that would be a fault on a different type of fault. You know what I mean? But, you know, if that's how it was, that would be really just stupid. George McCarthy says 50 is probably bumping I don't need them because they're never around when I'm down, shot and I'm bleeding. That's like everybody in me, you guys. That's like everybody in me right now with this whole everything I just been going through in the last few weeks. Everyone's like, oh, Mikey T, what's going to happen with Mikey T? I'm gonna keep putting out the best interviews. I feel like some people forgot like how good of interviews I do. So that's why I put back the throwback Cassidy, the throwback PD Crack. Like I really take pride in how good of interviews I do. And I really enjoy it when you guys give me an amazing reception, like happened with the Hot Boy Turk. It's at 105,000 views in 4 days. King of the bloggers, y'all. The king of the bloggers is here tonight. Oh, what a feeling. Yeah, put some respect. Put some respect on Smurf's name, damn it. Ask any Goonie. Ask any Goonie on Gaia Brewer about the work that Smurf put in. Ask anybody. Ask anybody out there about the work that Bangham, the top. Now, you wouldn't call him the top goon of New York, right? That's right. Let me see if I can get on IG Live real quick, do a little simulcast. Damn it. I hate when that shit happens. Damn, Benny the Butcher with Jay-Z. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Butcher. The Butcher's coming. Got a lot of love for Benny the Butcher. If you haven't seen my interview with him, go check it out. Maybe my shit is too low in power. I'm trying to go live on IG right now. I'm sorry about that, guys. Last try. And we're good to go. And we're good to go. Peasy, what's popping with you, King? I don't know if you saw it last night. Peasy, but Bangham Smurf actually went on Queen's Flip's Instagram Live and he was talking about me. He was talking about me. You know what I mean? What's up, Triborough? What's popping? But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. We're not here to talk about Smurf speaking on me. I want to talk about him speaking on ending the beef with 50 Cent. That is what is more important right now, you guys. Bangham Smurf is obviously matured. Bangham Smurf is at another point in his life right now, you guys. And honestly, I got to respect that. You know what I mean? I got to respect the fact that Smurf is at a different point, a different stage in his life, to the point where he can say, you know, all that past issue, all the past beef that I had with 50, Lloyd Banks, all the past beef that I had with Tony Yayo. Salute Tony Yayo as well. Mikey T's tax write-off. We're going to get that album done. Tony Yayo's second album, Mikey T's tax write-off, is definitely coming. I'm definitely doing that album with Tony Yayo, you guys. I'm on YouTube right now if anybody wants to pop over and join me. But honestly, I thought it was admirable that Smurf got on Queen's Flips Live and said that he's past all of that. What'd you think, Peasy? Tribro says, do you think 50 and Ja Rule can squash their beef? That is a big no. That is a hard no, man. That right there, no. Those guys, they never signed 50 when he needed them. They never gave a shit about 50 when he needed them. Like, just to be 100% honest with you, when 50 went to the concert and he had his little street momentum going, and he tried to shake Ja Rule's hand, and Ja Rule acted like he didn't even know him, when I believe they had actually met at Jam Master Jay's studio, and Blackchild was there. Nah, Iceberg. The new Tony Yayo album is called Mikey T's Tax Write-Off. Yep, Bangum Smurf said that I'm his brother. Bangum Smurf said that I'm his brother. Bangum Smurf said that I was the vice president of the label. His words, not mine. That's right. I'll have Smurf hanging out the sunroof to light up your hood. I'll have Smurf hanging out the sunroof to light up your hood. Smurf let the world know how he feels about me. You know what I mean? What was the words he used? Little brother, love, vice president, break bread. Smurf let the world know what type of time we were on. You know what I'm saying? Smurf let the world know how much love he had for me back in the day, man. I got a lot of love for Smurf as well, man. So I hope he doesn't take me doing this blog about him tonight as disrespect. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but a lot of people do. They don't watch the whole video and they're just like, Mikey T's probably on here talking all types of shit about us. We're going to respond. We're going to come at him. We're going to go ham on him. You know what? Do it. Do it. Keep on making blogs. Keep on saying my name. Keep on spreading rumors, talking about me, giving people out there things to talk about as well. I appreciate that. Indulge in that further. Tell people about me more. Write about me in your rap records. Put my name in your bars. Because I'll respond. I'll make a movie out of you. Put my name in your bars. Put my name in your blog. But yeah, as far as Smurf says, he's done. He's done mentioning 50, mentioning Banks, mentioning Yayo in a negative way. He's done mentioning them in a condescending way from what Smurf has said in his last live. From what Smurf said on his last live with Queen's Flip. A lot of people can say, well, we're going to take that with a grain of salt, Mikey T. He said that before. Mikey, I mean, this is something that he said in the past. You know what, man? I think the guy is really on a different level right now. Smurf, honestly, he's having his second son. You know what I mean? I think he's at a whole nother point. He's having a child. We've seen Smurf do other things in the music industry over the last few years. Like he just said in the interview as well, he's planning on going to Germany. You know, I mean, for crying out loud, Smurf got on a live video with Lil Preem. You know, we did that last year. Smurf jumped on a live with Preem last year, you know, and that was cool. And that was cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Honestly, I think if Smurf would have played the shit right, I think if Smurf would have played the shit right, in all honesty, I think he could have fucking had the position for domination. I think he could have had the position for domination that young Buck actually ended up getting, you know? Big. According to this interview, it's something I read. I read online that when you get deported, you have to wait 7 years. You have to wait 7 years before you can reapply for a visa. So you get deported, you got to wait 7 years to reapply for a visa. Now I heard Queen's Flip on there. They were talking about it, and they had said that Smurf had to wait 10 years. He was like, yo, it's been 10 years. It's technically been 13 years since Smurf. All right, go to YouTube if you want to continue watching this video. It's actually been 13 years since Smurf has been deported. So I think he's able to apply for a visa, but I don't know when he's going to do. I mean, that's none of my business, to be 100% honest with you. Would I like to see Smurf come back to the United States? Yeah, I mean, you know, I can only imagine the history, you know. I can't imagine the history that we could have made had he never been deported. I cannot imagine it. Uh, Iceberg, what are you talking about? If you're not a citizen, you can't come back ever, though. I was talking about actually applying for a visa to come back. I looked up when you get deported, how long you had to wait, and it said after 7 years you can actually reapply. You can actually reapply for a visa. Mr. Criticism, that's false. Smurf was doing a whole lot of shit while he was here, my dude. Mr. Criticism. I should have realized with your name. But yeah, nah, Smurf was doing a lot while he was here. As we saw earlier in the chat, Smurf had actually made his way over to Cali, or it might have been Vegas, and he was working with Corrupt, and he was working with Yuckmouth on Domination's project. A couple of his label mates from Koch Records. Also, while he was at the Koch building, he had got the opportunity to get a Tupac sample that he used on Domination's project, and they even took that to radio. Smurf even got them in magazines like Double XL and The Source, you know? So Smurf actually did a lot, you know, aside from organizing all the mixtapes, organizing different barbecues, getting different people that were in Queens or Brooklyn or whatever different borough to actually focus on music. Smurf did a lot of that too, man. You know what I'm saying? Smurf did a lot of that too. At one point, I actually got Smurf on the cover of a magazine. That's right, you guys. I got Smurf on the cover of the hip hop. I just actually got I actually got Smurf on a cover of the Hip Hop Weekly magazine. Okay, let me see. You can reapply, but if you a repeat offender, multiple felonies, they just going to deny your application. Reentry to good United States is not an easy process, just saying. So, let me ask you, being the fact that Smurf was only whatever 4 or 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old when he came over, does that mean he had a visa? Because I'm saying, what if he never in the first place had a visa? Iceberg. Let me see. George McCarthy says, if you were ordered, removed, or deported from the U.S., you must remain outside of the country for either 5, 10, or 20 years. It is even possible that you will not be allowed to return to the U.S. George, very interesting fact right there. Now, when I looked it up a year or two ago, it had said, maybe even 3 years ago, it had said you have to wait 7 years to apply for another visa after being deported. Now, Iceberg, I don't think Smurf actually had a visa when he was 4 years old coming to the country. And I don't know much about that stuff. And maybe someone has to have a visa when they're 4 years old. Okay, so the fact that he never had a visa before, when he goes to apply for one, it won't be like they revoked his visa and sent him back. It's just because he never had the proper green card or whatever. That's off the government site. Yeah, 5, 10 to 20 years. Yeah. George McCarthy says if he wasn't born here, he had to, Mikey. Yeah, even at the age of 4, even at the age of 4 or 5 years old, George. Oh, hold on. Let me look it up. Yep. Yep. All children need a visa. Yep. All children need a visa to travel to the United States. Yep. Yeah, you actually got to be born in a US hospital to be considered a US citizen and not even. Yeah, so I just looked it up and it said that you actually have to be, even if you're a child, you have to have a visa. So yeah, he would have a visa at this point that was I had heard it before. I think possibly with French Montana's situation where he had got his paperwork corrected once he got some money or something along those lines. I mean, I think French's brother at this point is Zach has been deported. Ronnie, he's actually in Trinidad, bro, not Haiti. No, actually, Suge Knight, I think Death Row was actually auctioned off and bought. Some company bought Death Row. Not really sure what's going to happen with it. Not really sure why no music releases have come from it as well. I mean, there's a ton of music just sitting in the vault. I don't understand why they can't release some of it. Yeah, Mikey, with the right lawyer, connection, and money, he could probably speed that up. You're really big. You're really like we're about 10 years too late on that whole situation, to be honest with you, man. We're about 10 years too late on the whole situation, to be honest with you. It would have been ideal if we had Smurf out here in 2009, 2010, you know what I mean, to really be out here to lead the charge for us. And we could have been on tours with the likes of DJ Khaled and Ace Hood while we were working the situation with Rick Ross and Maybach Dice. You know, we really could have been traveling all over the United States working the situation. Exactly. There it is. Hasbro owns it. Mad Monk TV. What do you think Hasbro is doing with it, man? Like why do you think they acquired it? Okay, yep. See, Iceberg, broke it down there. He said French was a permanent resident for over 10 years and could prove it. They could have sent French back to Morocco if they wanted. Did you mean they couldn't have or they could? He overstayed his visa twice. French has gotten no. So yeah, people be overstaying their visa and shit like that. But then it's like when you get some money, you can go fix that up so you can be a permanent resident. And it sucks that Smurf never got that taken care of because of all the money we really could have made with him coming back after that 3-year stint in jail. Like he had all the momentum in the world. What about Domination? How long is he sentenced? Um, well, big. Domination actually got 18 years. Yo, Joint, what are you asking, man? Do I think is what do I think Lloyd Banks' album is gonna make? Oh, some noise. Do I think Lloyd Banks' album is gonna make? Yo, it's really Lloyd Banks' album has really already started to make noise. Like honestly, you guys, Lloyd Banks' album has already started to make noise. He released a trailer. He released the cover, the title. You know what I mean? The track list. He's got everybody amped for his new album, and he's doing it the right way. Coming out independent. I'm actually not sure what label's releasing the album. It must be independent, though. He's going to make a killing off of it. He's going to make a killing off of it, you guys. He has so many people in his corner. He's got so many people that got his back. All the fans from back, since 2004 when he dropped his first album, all of those fans, we remember Lloyd Banks. You know what I mean? The whole time we've remembered Lloyd Banks. So he's got a really big following that he could build on finding again. Yeah, Joints. Banks is a smart dude. You know, he's learned over the years from these album rollouts the best way to roll out his album. And we're seeing the result of that, you know, from the way that they did the introduction video to the way that they released the cover to the way that they released the title to the way that they released the track listing. We see all of the rollout. You know, he learned that while he was at G Unit and Interscope. It's like when I was talking earlier about Smurf learning things from 50, you know, when it came to putting together projects, marketing the projects, getting the projects on radio. You know, you learn different things as you go. And he still kept that hunger for more logo. Okay. Everybody's been asking for a Banks album. Yep. Yeah, man. Honestly, man, I wish Banks' second album wouldn't have got messed up. It was supposed to be The Big Withdraw, from what I hear. It was supposed to be The Big Withdraw, and then maybe it could have been, you know, Hunger for More, The Big Withdraw, Rotten Apple. You know what I'm saying? But Banks' album kind of got messed up. I'm not really sure. I heard it was because of an altercation with two females in a jacuzzi, but that's just something I read on the internet. You know what I mean? Lloyd Banks, Playboy Banks, Blue Hefner, or as George McCarthy says, Mr. Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. Tell me, guys, does Juelz have a feature? Does Juelz Santana have a feature on Lloyd Banks' new album? Joint says Banks is a better artist than 50. Guys, well, I mean, Banks against 50, man. I mean, to each his own. To each his own, man. Honestly, to each his own. You know, people like different things about each of those guys. People like the bars and the delivery and you know what I mean? And the lyrics from Lloyd Banks. And some people like the 50's voice and they like his melodic lyrics and his melodic hooks. You know, it's like they like different things from different artists. Sometimes they like to hear about 50's story. 50 has one of the most undeniable stories in music history. You know what I'm saying? He has one of the most complete stories in music history. Banks has one of the most complete flows in music. You know, it's different. There's major difference between these two artists, you guys. One of them has the biggest story in history, and the other one has quite possibly one of the best flows and deliveries in history. So Sometimes when you're listening to Banks, you just wish he had more of the story outlined like 50 does. Sometimes when you're listening to 50, you know what I mean? You were wishing that maybe he had that same flow and delivery that he had in the Power of the Dollar days. But we see what happens. Sometimes some shit happens to you in the streets. Like, look what happened to Little Reese, and it affects your career overall. 50 never got that flow from the Power of the Dollar back. Jay Dell says 50 came a long way to put himself where he is. Yep. He came all the way from, being a solo artist, getting signed to Columbia, getting dropped, coming back, creating a brand that literally became the biggest brand, one of the biggest brands that you would want to be a part of. Like how everyone wanted to be a Lost Boy, like how everyone wanted to be in Murder Inc. You know what I'm saying? Like how everybody wanted to be a bad boy, like how they wanted to be a Rough Rider. 50 created that, you guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes his relationship and his past with Bangum Smurf so concrete, because a lot of them look at Smurf as one of the founding members of the group. You can't help but to look at him as one of the founding members of the group. Is 50 the greatest mixtape artist ever? The G Unit run is really right there at the top. The G Unit run, Lil Wayne, but Max B, in French Montana. Max B in French Montana. Yeah, the mixtape game right there. I think we would go G Unit, Lil Wayne, Max B in French Montana. That's the top three right there. Yeah, I'm going to give it to G Unit number 1, though, because the way he flipped that, you knew 50 was going to get a deal. Yup, real shit. 50 even put Smurf's names in the lyrics. You know what I mean? 50 spoke about Smurf in his book, and he said, yo, Smurf brought a lot of different talent to me. A lot of them I didn't really like. But he must have messed with Domination, because he called Smurf and said, I want the G Unit logo on that project. He must have messed with Domination, because allegedly 50 used one of Domination's bars. You know what I'm saying? So maybe there was other talent. Maybe Smurf trying to bring around Dice, a little 9-year-old artist, was too reminiscent of little Bow Wow and Romeo. Smurf was trying different things. Don't hate on the man for trying different things. You know what I'm saying? You cannot hate on the man for trying different things. I'd love to ask him about that right now, too. You know what I'm saying? Big says, I'd love a Mikey T and Zero interview. That would be great, too, man. Zero, definitely one of the most reputable names out of Texas. Hell, one of the most reputable spitters in the game, period. I'll just say that. I got a hell of a lot of respect for Zero. 50 and G Unit, number 1. Lloyd Banks, 50 and G. Yo, those guys like Lloyd Banks, Domination, even Fab. You know what I mean? These guys have great mixtape series as well. Not the Gunpowder Guru. Don't get it twisted. And I'm not too crazy about Young Buck's mixtape series either, you guys. The 10 series. Does anybody mess with those? The 10 this, the 10 that, 10 this, 10 that. No. I loved Young Buck's first 2 albums, but anything after that, not so much, guys. I'm putting 50 and G Unit at number 1 on the mixtapes. Number 2, Lil Wayne. Number 3, French and Max B together. Who do you, Mikey T, who do you feel is the king of hip hop? Slim Thug. I don't understand how he would be on the list for King of Hip Hop. I mean, maybe King of Texas. Lil Wayne. Okay, I see what you're going there. King of Hip Hop. Hot Boy Turk. After seeing if you saw my interview with Hot Boy Turk, you would know Turk would say Lil Wayne is the King of Hip Hop. Rick Ross. The Game. DJ Khaled. Snoop Dogg. Master P. BG. All right, well, two of those guys, I'm going to give credit for being a couple of the biggest bosses in the game. Two of the guys on your list, first of all, we're going to take Slim Thug out of the equation and we're going to name him, maybe the King of Texas. We might give him the King of Texas title. Slim Thug is a cool dude. I wish I would have noticed that was him and Houston when my boy seen him in the club. Damn it. Anyways. So, or maybe him and Lil Flip, maybe, out of King of Texas type shit. Now, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross and Master P, I got the most respect for because of the way that they had their labels situated. Like Rick Ross has been one of the most best business-minded rappers or entrepreneurs that I've seen in the game, from the way that he's run his record label to the way that he's run his solo career to the way that he has implemented different deals, involving himself with restaurant franchises like Checkers. I think there's another one that he's involved with Checkers and Wingstop. Obviously, it was Wingstop first. He more recently got involved with Checkers, to the way that he does this thing with champagne, the Bel Air, the most recent Bel Air Blue, which I'm looking forward to trying. And even I think they got the rosé, the pink rosé, for sale at the cookie shop with Burner. Like, the man is a genius, from the music to all of his entrepreneurial endeavors, So I'll give that to Ross. And Master P really set the groundwork for releasing albums, a groundwork that I don't think many have been able to successfully follow, because a lot of these major labels don't want to release albums every single month of the year. They want to space it out by the quarter. Just my thoughts. So, we're not going to give the King of the Hip Hop to Snoop Dogg and The Game, because in all honesty, if you look at their careers, they've spanned out in a similar fashion. Their most popular albums, Snoop Dogg has had a better run than The Game, but their most popular albums were their first albums, whereas you stopped thinking and considering them towards their later albums. Now, Snoop has been able to reinvent himself in a better way than The Game, I'll admit. Like The Game, from his Jesus Peace album to redoing the documentary 2, Snoop Dogg did better things, in my opinion. The Rhythm and Gangster, Drop It Like It's Hot, the Sensual Seduction, you know what I mean? Different things like that. I think Snoop Dogg really kept his name out there. Also, he's had more endorsements, from the Colt 45 to more recently the Corona, than The Game has had. The Game had a TV show. The Game had some movies. Snoop had some movies as well. But I'm not going to name them as the king. So we're taking California out of the mix. DJ Khaled, very successful DJ, king of the DJs. Yeah, we'll put him in that category, king of the DJs. But yeah, we're gonna have BG as well. BG, honestly, BG's always been more of an independent artist. Lil Wayne was able to reach the heights that BG was never able to reach because of going independent and because of Cash Money not being the smash record label that they later became when BG put out his first albums with them. So yeah, there's my answer to that question. Lil Wayne is definitely the king of hip hop. Lil Wayne is definitely the king of hip hop on that list, and I'm co-signing it right there, man. And I think Turk would co-sign it as well. Game's first album was unbelievably good, impossible to top that. Snoop Dogg's first album was also unbelievably good, and both of their second albums were really good as well. Both of their second albums were really good as well. What up, Graham? Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Iceberg says you gotta include Dipset, Mikey. You gotta include Dipset. Well, I was just doing the top 3, bro. Would you put Dipset over French and Max B, Iceberg? Iceberg, don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. You know we rocking with the Coke Wave Records when Max B gets home. Big says, BG is too hood for the space that Wheezy is in. BG, however, has done great numbers independently. Yes. Yes. You're right. Not king of hip-hop numbers, though. Not king of hip-hop numbers, though. And then when BG has gotten his opportunity with a major like Too Hood for Hollywood, T.I. got locked up, so we didn't really get to see BG expand as a major when he had got the situation with Atlantic. BG went over from Koch to Atlantic with T.I., if you guys remember that, and he was doing Too Hood for Hollywood, and that album was going to be dope. You know, I was actually in the studio one time. Well, he must have been past it because this was like 2012 or something like that. Can anybody get a tentative release date on Too Hood for Hollywood for me? This would be like 2012 when I was in the studio with BG and we did an interview. And this dude was just the coolest dude. This dude was the coolest dude. Now, I guess I've had the opportunity to meet 2 of the hot boys. I met Turk, and I met BG. Now, I met Birdman as well. Compton Menace introduced me to Birdman, but he's not a hot boy. You know, that's Cash Money. You know what I mean? Cash Money Millionaires, if we're talking about that. Oh, shit. No, I met Lil Wayne. I did an interview with Lil Wayne. Met Lil Wayne, introduced myself, said I was Mikey T, the movie star. He said he was Lil Wayne, the Tunchi star. Yep. Cool ass dude, man. So I actually met 3 of them. I'm trying to think if I met Juvie. Juvie was not there. Busta Rhymes was there that night. Juvie was not there that night. I don't know, man. I put G Unit on the I put G Unit at number 1 because it's the way that they actually got a deal. Because it's when they actually got a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, when you heard the G Unit mixtapes, you were like, yo, who's gonna sign these dudes? Who's gonna sign these dudes, man, and let them do their rap thing? You know, it was really a big question when G Unit was coming up like that, man. Like, who was gonna let 50 get that bag so he could really all go out and do his thing? And it turned out that M didn't come to sign him as G Unit. M came to sign him as 50 Cent. So he wasn't signing the G Unit. You know what I mean? He wasn't signing that whole thing that we had all started to love. He actually was just signing the lead guy from the group. And that's why 50 actually had to work out a deal. It seemed to me like that's why 50 worked out a deal, and it turned out to be G Unit / Interscope. It wasn't G Unit Interscope Shady. It was G Unit Interscope. 50 was Shady Aftermath Interscope. But then once 50 got there, he worked out a deal for G Unit Records. And honestly, I putting out a second 50 Cent album in that same year would have been stupid anyways. Interscope be like, you're an idiot, Mikey T. If we would have put out a G Unit, a 50 Cent album in November of that year, it would have sold 775,000 units compared to the G Unit Beg for Mercy album that sold 350,000 units. Well, 50 waited and actually sold 1.1 million units in 2005 with The Massacre. So you can hate it or love it. You know what I mean? No pun intended. You can hate it or love it, but 50 did something smart there. And within that time, he enabled Lloyd Banks to come out and sell 400,000+ units, Young Buck to come out and sell 260,000 units. Both would go platinum and double platinum, then followed up by The Game documentary. What, guys, how many records? I know the documentary did 500,000 first week. How many did he do overall with that? I think he said 5 million, right? Let me see. Born Twice asked Mikey T, would you say Chopper City Records is going to become larger than life? Larger than life, larger than life, larger than Cash Money, Murder Inc. And no, there's no way. There's no way, man. No, there's no way. I don't think. I mean, I don't want to say that just because of how much momentum BG is going to come home with, and BG honestly could get a better deal than ever for Chopper City. You know what I mean? Chopper City Records could get a better deal than ever. I mean, like I was just saying, they have proven sales history with Koch and E1. They inked a deal with T.I.'s Grand Hustle in Atlantic. So that was a major record right there that was going to endorse BG. So I don't want to just write him off and say that, but when you say these names like Death Row and Murder Inc., these are Cash Money. Like these labels are so major, like just to think to compete with them. And but I've actually met artists that rock with BG. You know what I mean? So I don't want to discount what he can do. BG is obviously somebody who can find talent. He's obviously somebody who works with a lot of different talent. So I don't want to discount what he's going to do, but you know, Ja Rule and Irv Gotti, Murder Inc., and Birdman and Slim and Lil Wayne and Drake and the history that they've all made as labels, man, it's gonna take some work. I hope when BG comes home that he's as willing to do just as much work as the time that he's been locked up. Like BG's been locked up since like 2014. I want to say 2015, 2014, if I believe I'm right. Somebody getting a date on me. So BG has been locked up for like 7 years, you guys. So I want him to come home and work as hard as Turk did, man. You know what I mean? I think we could see a lot of things. Turk, BG's coming home at the right time when people are actually able to be brought out to nightclubs. So just imagine all the love that's going to be shown to him. I can imagine Boosie even bringing him out to some shows. Documentary sold 5 million. Yep, 500,000 first week. The New Breed was actually a what was the New Breed again? I think there was 3 new tracks on it, right? What was the whole thing about the New Breed? I can't remember. Mad Monk says, right, the unit chose quality. I think this is a reply to you, Iceberg. He said, right, the unit chose quality over doing endless songs like the Dipset did. Just saying. Well, honestly, man, Monk, if you remember, 50 had done multiple interviews where he said the guys, Banks, Buck, Game, they had all recorded like 50, 60 records for their debut albums, you know? Banks, I mean, Yayo came out and said that he had recorded 30, 40 records to get started on the album. So they were recording quite a bit of material that we never all actually got to hear. You know what I'm saying? They recorded a whole bunch of material that we never actually got to hear. Eddie Presley, no, BG hasn't been locked up since 2009. He was saying 2009 is when BG linked up with Atlantic Records. Yeah, 2009 is when BG linked up with Atlantic Records. Because I did an interview with BG in like 2012, and he got locked up after that. Yeah, I did an interview. Hold on, where's my blunt, man? Did I really already smoke that whole blunt? Man, that shit ain't cool. I gotta roll up another blunt, you guys. We good though. I guess Smurf ain't gonna join me tonight. Smurf probably, you know what I mean? Smurf probably just, he doesn't need to come on my live, to be 100% honest with you guys. I know none of y'all really were expecting him tonight. I know none of y'all were really expecting him tonight, to be honest with you. That's gonna have to be something we do on another day. if Smurf and I do come back to talking terms, which I'm not saying we will or we won't, But I'm glad that it got put out there that when I did an interview with a couple guys from Smurf's neighborhood, I'm glad that it got put out there that we didn't diss Smurf. Nah. When dudes come on my platform, they know the relationship that I have with Smurf in the past. They wouldn't diss Smurf on my platform. So, like that, Queen's Flip asked Smurf, he's like, "Oh, so they was talking about you in his interview?" And Smurf was like, "Nah." And then Queen's Flip was like, "Come on, man. Then what are you doing, Smurf? Why are you making a big deal out of nothing then?" Exactly. Exactly. But Smurf was like, "Yo, that was my little bro." Y'all might have seen the video. That was my little bro. But y'all might have seen the long video that Smurf did with Queen's Flip where he was talking about 50, Banks, Yayo, talking about everything, Nuke. He was talking about the situation with me. I'm not really particularly addressing what he said about me tonight. Honestly, I respect some of the things he said about me. Smurf isn't trying to really throw me under the bus. Smurf is not like Smurf went on the platform and said, "Yo, Mikey T used to be the vice president of Feed the Wolves." You know? Nah, I don't remember when Big Pun dissed 50. What did Big Pun say about 50? They call you 57, but I'll still fuck you up. I could. Nah, Black Wall Street really never got an opportunity because the game walked away from G Unit. The game would have had Black Wall Street. It would have been G Unit West, aka Black Wall Street, and the game would have had his label if he would have just worked with 50 Cent. It really made no sense that the game turned his back on G Unit. 50 was going to line you up with your own record label. Like, y'all know that, right? Like, 50 was going to give the game G Unit West. I bet you they probably, yeah, I'm not even going to say that, but I bet you they would have had a couple artists. They would have had a couple artists, man, from Cali, and they would have started doing the G Unit West thing, man. Oh, yeah, I know what 50 said about Pun, but what did Pun say about 50? I guess 50 said this about Pun. He's like, "I rob Pun without a gun, snatch his piece and run, snatch his chain and run. He weighs like 400 pounds. How's he gonna catch me, son? I rob Pun without a gun, snatch his piece and run. He weighs 400 pounds. How's he gonna catch me, son?" Yeah, finesse. Well, Smurf actually used a really good channel to reach out to 50 or to let the public know that he is having no issues with 50 at this point. Smurf used or not used Queen's Flip. He didn't really, Queen's Flip is his homie. Queen's Flip allowed Smurf to come on his channel and basically let the world know he's got love for 50. That's positive. That's progression, you guys. You know what I mean? Smurf is on some uplifting shit right now, and I got no choice but to come on here tonight and acknowledge that. You know what I mean? I'm going to give somebody their flowers when they deserve them. Smurf is obviously on some grown man shit right now, you guys. And, Smurf is like, "Yo, I realize I've had issues with these guys in the past, but I'm putting all that behind me." He's even gone as far to end the issues with Jaffe, the guy that he initially got into a fight with that started all the frictions with G Unit in the first place, you guys. So that's commendable. And I had heard in prior interviews that Queen's Flip was trying to line him and Jaffe back up together, but we know like how much intensity there was back and forth between that whole situation. Smurf was on Flip's show and he was like, "Yo, man, Jaffe, Jaffe." You know what I mean? It got really tense. So to see that they're actually in a whole different space right now, that's commendable. It's commendable, man. It's really commendable. And I got to respect that. Hold on. Let me see what's going on the gram right now. Ah, shit. Come on, man. This guy's always live. Trying to go live with this guy. Okay, let me see what Pun responded back to 50. Iceberg says, Pun responded 50. To that 50-cent rapper, just get your bread up. Because in real life, you don't know I'll blow your mother head off. Wow. Wow. That is a hardcore line right there. I guess Pun responded to 50 and said, to that 50-cent rapper, just get your bread up. Because in real life, you don't know I'll blow your mother head off. Wow. Pun said back to 50. To that 50-cent rapper, very funny. Laugh off. Because in real life, you know I'll blow your head off. Okay. Never been a goody-goody in the streets. I'm a bully. What up, Kevin? Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight, man. Appreciate you. I'm rolling up another L right now. I'm rolling up another L right now. What y'all smoking? What's everybody smoking tonight? I'm on these runts, you dig? I'm on these runts, you dig? Big boy shit, man. Big boy shit. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. I really do. You know, we finally talking about Bang 'em Smurf again. Starting the middle of the year. Smurf's kicking it off right. Ending the beef with 50 Cent. Smurf is ending his beef with 50 Cent. He's getting this shit right. And I got to say, I respect it, man. I respect the hell out of it. I respect Bang 'em Smurf for being a bigger man, for saying, you know what? I've been hating a little bit too long. You know what I mean? What up, Whip Wop? Smurf said, I've been going against this guy just for too long. You know what? I'm past that point in my life. And Smurf is just saying he's done with it. But you know, at another point, Smurf said, you know what, Mikey T? Mikey T, you said, you know what? I only really did the 50 talk for Mikey T. He wanted to use me as a scapegoat. All right, whatever. Use me as a scapegoat, man. It's cool. It's cool. I'm cool with it, man. But the more positive note for tonight, we're not talking about my tension with Smurf or my beef with Smurf, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. BLK Prime, Mikey T versus Bang 'em Smurf. I could smell a bag. The movie star versus the wolf. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story, you guys. That's another story. Major salute to Bang 'em Smurf, though, man. You know, I got love for Smurf, man. I got a whole lot of love for Smurf. He just really upset me. He upset me a couple times when he got pissed at me for doing interviews with certain people and shit like that. Like literally one time, Smurf actually got upset with me. Actually, I literally just said this wasn't about me and Smurf. Everyone on the video is probably like, you just said this wasn't about you and Smurf. Mad Monk says, that's crazy how Smurf ain't had a documentary. Yeah, man. You know, Smurf actually said in the live with Flip that he was working on a documentary. And he also said that he has a clothing line that he's doing. He said he had some shirts available. Y'all can probably go check them out. Y'all can go check them out. But I can't because Smurf has me blocked on Instagram. So I can't even see what the black heart, purple heart shirts look like. Well, Terrell West says that he thinks Smurf will knock me out if me and Smurf were to go one-on-one. I'm going to ask the chat. I'm going to bring it to the chat. How about we bring it to the chat? All right, guys. BLK Prime. Bang'em Smurf versus Mikey T. Who do y'all got? Put it in the chat. Who would win? Bang'em Smurf or Mikey T on BLK Prime? Come on, let me know who would win. Y'all don't see these dodges I got? You seen that dodge right there? Y'all can't touch this. Y'all can't mess with that. Put it in the chat. Who do you all think would win? I want to see what everybody thinks. Who would win in a BLK Prime boxing match? Bang'em Smurf versus Mikey T. I come out to the ring. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring out one of the G Unit. I'm going to bring out a member of G Unit. I'm going to bring a member of G Unit. We on fire up in here. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring Trav out to perform. I'll have Trav come out and perform. Who do y'all think? Who do y'all want to see win? Bang'em Smurf versus Mikey T, the movie star. Who's getting knocked out? Who's going to get knocked out one-on-one? BLK Prime. I'm going to come out with that El Dorito Red. You heard? Be coming out. I'm going to have Compton Menace come out with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have one of the G Unit guys come out with me. You know what I'm saying? But I want to know, what does everybody in the chat think? Who would win? Bang'em versus Mikey T. Who do y'all got? Who do y'all got? All right, on some G shit. He says Bang'em. Finesse says you could probably put him down. Smurf's only like 110 pounds, but Smurf could probably pull out on you. Terrell says, don't do it. Your YouTube career would be over. What does everybody think? Mikey T versus Bang'em. Who would win in a boxing match? Graham's New York says, Mikey, you my boy, but Smurf is a beast. Kevin says, I don't know. Smurf looks like he bites. Keith Reed says, my boy would beat down your leg. Steve Q in the building. What's up, bro? Appreciate you for tapping in. Steve Q says, Mike T going Mike Tyson. Damn right, man. Goddamn right, man. Exactly, Finesse BWA. I'm going to sign Tony Yayo, and I'm going to have him perform So Seductive. Is there anything else he can perform on the way out? Could he? Is there anything else? Yayo would probably, I could do Curious. No! I don't want you to do Curious. Jesus, Yayo. Chill out. Don't make me get Hot Rod. Ooh, Van Guardian says Mikey by a split decision. Terrell, nah, I only smoke this, bro. This is all I smoke, Terrell. Some grade. Some grade buds. That's all I smoke, bro. Don't get it twisted, my man. What's the odds? Oh, yeah, I could get Kid. That's facts. That's facts. I could get Kid. That's what's up. I could get Kid. Oh, Finesse says Tony Ayo could do the bad news verse. All right. Yo, Curtis, it's like literally 18 years, bro. It's literally over 18 years that Bang'em Smurf and 50 Cent have had beef. Look back at their beef started right after the Get Rich or Die Trying album in 2003. 18 long years, and it's finally over. It's finally over, guys. We can take a moment to celebrate. We can take a moment to rejoice because Smurf has finally put all of this behind him. He's going to move on. I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but Smurf has been doing quite a few projects in the last few years. Like, honestly, Smurf he had done a whole reality show. He's been doing some work in Germany for the last few months. He's actually going to be going to Germany. He was working with one of the most notable artists out in Germany, actually, Bones and shit. So he's been doing quite a bit of work. Oh my God. What a horrible song, George, to come out to a boxing fight to. I cannot come out to a boxing fight listening to I Know You Don't Love Me. I know you don't love me. Let me think. What was I? I was doing a remix the other night, wasn't it? I know you don't love me. You ain't the same when Mikey T is around. I know you don't love me. Bang'em Smurf hates when Mikey T is around. Bang'em Smurf didn't pay for Mikey T to come to town. Nah, man, Dutch is on my shit, Kef. I know you don't love me. Bang'em Smurf, I'm thinking about how you took me to KFC right now. How about that night I got lost? You cried your ass off. Oh yeah, you used to smoke the Dutches back in the day, but now you're on the Fonto. You're saying you graduated. Yeah, I know everybody right now is smoking the backwood. Is it the Russian creams or is it backwood white creams, you guys? Yeah, Terrell, it wasn't about Smurf being a good rapper. It was about Smurf having that energy, Smurf and domination, like that was Bang'em Smurf and domination. They had an energy together. They had a compatibility with the way that they collaborated, man. It was almost kind of like a street version of Puff Daddy and Biggie Smalls, if you ask me. It was almost like a street version of that. So I think looking back, that's what they should have brought to MMG. I think that's what Smurf should have done. I think he should have brought that element of what he was doing to MMG, to be honest, rather than do the Dice deal, because Dice was appearing on Groundwork. Dice could have still worked with Bang'em and Domination while they were doing the MMG thing, so it really would have made more sense if they would have took the project that they were more known for to MMG. Nah, bro. Honestly, I think the way Smurf was doing the ad libs, Smurf would say it was more like Mr. Cheeks and Freaky Ta. Smurf would say it was more like that type of a relationship, but I'm gonna go ahead and give him the Puffy and the Big relationship because Smurf was the CEO. Smurf was the guy dancing in the videos. Smurf was the guy doing the ad libs on the records. You know what I mean? Smurf was the guy hanging all over Domination in all the videos. You know what I mean? Just like Diddy was with Big. You know, it's a very considerable comparison. Yeah, yeah. Smurf was relentless, Kef, with the dissing. He was relentless, man. He knew how to keep shit going. Like I think Smurf, like you can make a blueprint of dissing people with what the way Smurf did. You know, look at what look at what 50 did to Ja. Yeah. You see, what 50 did to Ja was amplified by the fact that guys like Eminem, Dr. Dre, Buster Rhymes, D12, Obi Trice all got on his back. All these multi-platinum selling artists all jumped with 50 and went against Ja. You know what I'm saying? Now look what Bangum did to 50. And then I got the new comparison actually while I was just thinking of it. 50 what Bangum did to 50 on an underground level, just look what the game did to him. He amplified what Smurf did by 10. He amplified it because he was a rapper, I guess you could say. The game going at G Unit and 50 Cent was like one of the like it was over. Like he put so many holes in their wall. And then I liken it to me, Ross, and Smurf coming back, and then we bulldozed that wall. You know, because then the beef with Bangum and 50 reignited after the game's beef with 50 and G Unit. The beef with Ross, everyone was like, all right, 50 survived the beef with the game. 50 won the beef with the game. The game got moved to Geffen Records. The game was taken off of Aftermath. You know what I mean? There wasn't going to be any more 50 cuts on the game's albums. So 50 seemingly won. You know what I'm saying? But then 50 had another beef with Ross, which he really didn't survive because we just bulldozed the wall. The game had put so many, you know what I mean, dents in that wall. You know what I'm saying? He put so many holes in the wall that we just came through and bulldozed that whole shit. And that's why Ross beat 50 so easily. And it was undeniable that Ross beat 50 in their war. Yep, exactly. Even DMX on Shot Down. Yep. Even DMX on Shot Down on his album Grand Champ X. Yep, exactly. You know what you're talking about. Came at him. It was just brutal, man. The amount of people. So that's why I'll compare what Bangum Smurf did to G Unit more to what the game did to G Unit than in comparison to what 50 did to Ja Rule, because 50 went in on Ja Rule, but it was almost like the complete, music industry turning, like the complete music industry turning on Ja Rule. Much like later on when Ross and Fat Joe and DJ Khaled and all these guys, Ace Hood, and Lil Wayne and Birdman, they all teamed up and they were like, enough is enough, 50 Cent. Now we got you. Now we got you. Diddy, they all teamed up and they said, now we got you. Wow, he had a billboard, a GU Not billboard in Times Square. I never saw that, man. I never saw that. But that must have been in what year was that in Iceberg when he had the GU Not billboard? And why couldn't 50 just pay, or why couldn't Interscope just pay to get a bigger billboard or just pay to buy out the rights to their billboard? Like, now we're putting our own billboard up. Screw that. Yep. I mean, the marketing there is to destroy another brand. The marketing there is to destroy another brand because honestly, he didn't make an album called G U Not. Could he have made an album called G U Not? Maybe he should have, but maybe people would have been like thinking that was too much like Ja Rule with Blood in My Eye, making a whole album dedicated towards, you know what I mean? He had the album called Stop Snitching, Stop Lying, right? But I think he should have did a G U Not album. Appreciate you for tapping in. Damn. What did the locks do to 50? Well, you could really say that Jadakiss was really the first one who unofficially beat 50 Cent, with Checkmate, you know what I'm saying? With a couple of they did Miss Jackson. They did a Miss Jackson remix where him and Styles P killed 50. But 50 got, the Time Is Money. I believe it was the Time Is Money album from Styles P, kicked off the record label of Interscope. So he had to go take that to Koch or E1, I believe. So it just, in the public's eye, it looked like 50 had beat Jadakiss. Jadakiss has been so tied up with album dilemmas, it kind of looked like he beat him. But Jada was the first one who unofficially beat 50 Cent. The streets know it. You know what I mean? He made it known that 50's second album was a weed plate. A 5 million weed plates sold, you guys. 10 million weed plates sold. You know what I mean? Now, The Massacre was actually a good album, though. Yeah, 50 actually went out and linked up with Jadakiss and Styles P. I thought that was cool as hell, man. That he went out there and he actually featured him on his Animal Ambition album. He actually had Kid Kid working with Styles P, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, 50 didn't really. I mean, what was the diss song he had on Jadakiss? Wasn't it on the 2050 mixtape or something? Nah, Keith. I'm not talking about Get Rich. I'm talking about The Massacre, bro. Jadakiss said that The Massacre, your second LP, is a weed plate. That's what he said. Iceberg, bro. I don't think Sheik Lute's album being called Silverback Gorilla had anything to do with G Unit. Just to be 100% real with you. Actually, no. Through watching all the promo, I'm pretty sure it didn't have anything to do with G Unit. No. I didn't know that Kid Kid was there. Kid Kid was there? Prophecy. Kid Kid was at that video. Ric Flair was popping with you, King. There was another record that 50 dissed them on. It was called I Run New York. Yeah, that was 50 and Yayo dissing them all. I run New York. I wake up, stare at the ceiling. I'm alive. What a wonderful feeling. Put my vest on. Right after I put on my drawers, I put my knife on. Right after I put on my drawers, it's a habit. I'm always prepared for war. Damn, Kid Kid was there. I'm gonna have to holler at my homie about that shit, man. How'd everything turn out, man? That dude was talking a lot of shit, man, huh? Facts, big facts, big facts. Well, born twice. Chief Keef actually just put out a video where he was like detailing all of his whips and shit. That's the last I seen of Chief Keef, man. He's been laying pretty low, but he's in Cali nowadays, from what I see. Five Heartbeats. Five Heartbeats. Who was that by, man? I could have sworn Joe Budden called G Unit Five Heartbeats. Major salute to 50. I mean, he needs to get on my shit right now. I mean, he had Jack Thriller and he had Punch. Come on, man. I would save This Is 50. I'm sorry, but I would save This Is 50. So 50, if you really want to turn this shit into something real, holla at me, bro. Holla at me, because we could turn this into something real. But Jack Thriller, Punch, it's a little too much, bro. I mean, maybe if you put all three of us together for a podcast, it would work. You know, maybe if you put all three of us for a podcast radio show, it would work. But maybe that's the idea. Okay, yep. 50 and Tony Yayo, Five Heartbeats, dissing Joe. Yeah, you see, I'm not, whack. I wake up and I roll up a blunt, go on live, some highs. Ryan Jeffries. Why is he overrated if he's funny as hell? Doesn't make sense. Damn right, bro. You already know. Smoke that good. Well, George, Jack Harlow is taking on an amazing fan base right now. That's how. Jack Harlow is taking on more and more fans as the day goes by. Like, he's really doing like numbers, like when it comes to fans. He's getting so popular right now. I imagine he'll be in a Wiz Khalifa like level by next year or by the end of this year, you know, to the point where he's doing some major shows, making major guap, but also reaching a pop like level. Oh, underrated. Yeah. Jack Thriller is underrated. He's funny as hell. Yeah, you know, Jack Thriller always finds a way to pop up, you know what I mean, and do his thing. You know, from getting the G Unit deal in the beginning with This Is 50 to you know, becoming an on-air returning guest on Drinks Champs. You know what I mean? Nah, George, he's a lot different than G-Eazy, man. All these artists, man, like G-Eazy is nothing like, in my opinion, G-Eazy was nothing like Machine Gun Kelly. You know what I mean? In my opinion, G-Eazy was nothing like Mac Miller, rest in peace. Jack Harlow is actually a little bit more melodic, in my opinion, than G-Eazy. Obviously, Machine Gun Kelly has gone on to take more of the pop rock career, but I think when it comes to hip hop, Jack Harlow was more melodic than Machine Gun Kelly in a better way. You know, Machine Gun Kelly's more of a pop rock melodic. Jack Harlow is more of an R&B flavored melodic. You know what I mean? Like Drake, that Drake style of melodic. You know what I mean? And he's got that sing-songy type flow as well. So a little bit, he's a lot different. All these artists are different, man, in my opinion. And he can rap his ass off as well. And he's gotten a lot of acknowledgement, like the baby. You know what I mean? The baby came and rapped on his remix. Yeah, this girl I know actually that I grew up with put me on to him. She's like, Mikey T, this dude is dope. You got to interview him. Da 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 da. Ryan Paul Wall at his time. You know what I mean? Paul Wall at his time. He was one of the dopest artists coming out at a certain point from Texas. Like how earlier when we were talking about Slim Thug and I was saying Slim Thug and Little Flip could potentially be considered King of Texas worthy. And you got to look at the other guys who were doing their thing from Texas, like Chamillionaire, Paul Wall, Mike Jones, Zero. You know what I'm saying? All these guys were coming out around the same time, and they were making so much noise. You know what I mean? It was like Texas had the momentum for a certain point in time. Texas really had it all. Cornelius, appreciate you tapping in tonight. Oh man, Logic is dope, man. Logic is dope, and Jack Harlow has a lot of proving to do. You know, Jack Harlow has a lot of proving to do to get to Logic's level, man. So Logic is really one of the greatest right now rapping. Like, the guy came out and moved 250,000 units, I believe. He moved a couple 100,000 units. He actually made a record that became an anthem, you know what I mean, on his own. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's selling out. He was selling out shows before the pandemic. So, yeah, that's somebody to aspire to reach the level of the way he's come up in the game, man. Zero still putting out dope shit. Yeah, somebody had said earlier in the chat, Mike T, we want to see a Zero interview, man. Yeah, the shit is crazy too, Ryan. He's from the DMV. Yeah, salute Jack Harlow, man. Dude's doing his thing, man, and he's working hard as well at it, you know, doing all that traveling and shit. Prophecy says, would you interview Birdman? Hell yeah, I would interview Birdman. I actually had a quick meeting, a quick chance to meet Bird. Actually, I got a drop from Birdman. You know what I mean? Actually, I had an opportunity to ask Birdman for a drop, and he gave the Birdman Young Thug thing. Stop. But yeah, I actually had the chance to speak with Birdman because of Compton Menace. Really appreciate Compton Menace for giving me so many alley-oops in the game, yo. Really shit is dope. Bishop Desmond is funny as hell. You was funny as hell, Bishop. He said Bangum Smurf beefed with himself for 20 years. 50 was never involved with that. Oh my God, I'm dead. I'm dead. I am dead right now. I am freaking dead. You got the comment of the night. You have the comment of the night. Oh my God. Well, you know what, Bishop, man? 50 actually took a helicopter, allegedly, flew to New York, jumped in a van, and actually went to Bangum Smurf's music video shoot with Domination. So to say that he wasn't actually beefing with him for those 20 years is actually wrong. You know what I mean? Is actually wrong. The man actually took a vehicle with a bunch of police, from what Smurf was saying. What up, M1? And actually went to his video shoot to disrupt the shoot. You know what I mean? Because he heard about what Smurf was doing and he wanted to kind of put a stop to it, or he wanted to try and intimidate him. So that's what he was trying to do. And honestly, if you want to say, you know what I mean? Honestly, if you want to say that, then I think you're kind of wrong. You know what I mean? And even in recent years, 50 has responded. Well, that's what Smurf said, man. Smurf said that 50 actually pulled up at his video shoot with a bunch of cops. What up, Mr. Queens, talking New York? Christopher, what's popping with you, man? Appreciate you for tapping in. If anybody wants to support the channel, man, if anybody wants to see more videos like this, guys, hit that Cash App to donate. Anybody wants to show some love, hit that Cash App. You know, I appreciate everybody that tunes in. Appreciate everybody that shows love to the channel, man. Y'all is... Let me see what's going on here. M1 says, Bangum Smurf official tissue. Yeah, Smurf is a real one, yo. Smurf is a real one. I won't lie. He kept it real on me. He didn't diss me when he had the opportunity to. You You know what I mean? Smurf didn't just try to shit on me when he had the opportunity to. Even though he said I was confused, he made sure to say that I wasn't a bitch. You know, he said I was confused, which I don't understand what he thinks I'm confused about. I'm not confused. I didn't do an interview with anybody dissing you. I called Smurf after I talked to Cadillac Ta. Cadillac Ta called me one day when I was driving home from New York. I was like, yo, Mikey T, what up? I'm like, yo, Ta, what up, man? I was actually just talking to Smurf and he brought you up. And then I told Smurf I talked to Cadillac Ta about when we talked about him in an interview. And Smurf freaked out on me about that. It's like whack, man. It's like, what the hell? It's like, what the hell kind of shit is that, man? I called to tell you, like, what was up. Ryan says, when did they squash it? Well, Ryan, I guess you didn't see it, but last night, Smurf, or the other day, Smurf did a live video with Queen's Flip where he basically said he wasn't beefing with 50 no more. He said he's past it. He doesn't plan on doing any more videos talking negatively about 50. Now, I imagine we might hear some of the positive stories, especially in Smurf's next portion of his book. You know, Smurf released volume 1 of his book. He's working on volume 2 of 5. So I imagine in one of the next volumes, we'll hear different positive G Unit stories. You know what I mean? Hopefully a story about meeting M and Dre, something along those lines. But Smurf has said he's not going to be talking negatively about any of his past G Unit members. He said 50 is his big brother. He said Lloyd Banks and Yayo are people that he really, you know, has love for. He was saying this on Queen's Flips channel, and we know 50 Cent watches that channel from time to time. We've seen him comment on it. Let me see. Bishop says that was before the main fame of 2001. 50 Cent never really responded. He said Bang Up Smurf is his son. That's all he said. Yeah, he did a couple interviews in more recent years where he responded. But back then he actually responded on a track as well. Yeah, you're right. Now that you say that, he actually responded on a track where he's like, I heard you talking about me. I heard you talking about me, Smurf. You better brush your teeth. You better brush your teeth, Smurf. Wash under your arms before you talk about me, Smurf. Yeah, that's what 50 said on record about Smurf. What do you mean, Bishop? The video that 50 came to whose show? What is Bishop talking about here? There's no proof in what Bangum Smurf is saying. Tell him to upload the video that 50 came to his show. What are you talking about? Oh, oh, I see what you're talking about, Bishop. Yeah, you know, it was different back then, man. This was like 2003, you know, when Bangham was shooting the video for, I want to say, You'll Lose. You know, they weren't shooting behind the scenes videos. They weren't filming on their phones. This was they had a camera crew out there filming the music video. So they didn't film it when 50 ran up on their set, man. If they did, I'm sure that would be one of the biggest videos on the internet, especially if 50 was surrounded by the police. I'm sure that would have looked really bad. Is it called You're So Tough? You're So Tough? You supposed to be hard, mother. You so tough. No, that was a different one. That was actually from the Terminate on Sight album. You so tough. Tough until your heartbeat stops. The trade pound pop. Yeah, something like that, right? You supposed to be hard. You so tough. But that's all we're talking about tonight, man. We're talking about the positive nature of Bangum Smurf ending this 20-year rivalry. That's what we're talking about tonight. We're not talking about my issues with Smurf. Save that for another day. We'll save that for another episode because tonight we're going to focus on the main thing of it all. I think it's positive that Smurf is putting back together relationships, learning to forgive and forget in certain places. So I'm not going to place a burden of him forgiving me on him at the present moment. He's obviously going through some other shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that much of a burden where I'm like, yo, you got to forgive me right now. But I want to come out here and talk about what I think of the fact that he is putting aside all these issues. I think it's positive. I think it's uplifting to what he has going on in Trinidad. You know what I mean? Into his personal character as a man. Yeah, Domination's locked up right now. Should be coming home soon. Next few years. Domination's been locked up since 2011, actually. So Domination has been locked up for 10 years, you guys. Chemo says, some beefs need to get squashed, especially if two people know each other and they can look past the issue or issues at hand. Yeah, man, especially if they know each other, especially if they were friends, you know what I mean? Especially if they both fought on the same side, you know what I mean? And I think we all know, some people ask Mike, will 50 ever be cool with Ja Rule? That's a long question. That's a question that's been asked for a long time. That's a question that's been asked to friends of both Ja, 50, and mutual friends who have tried to make it happen. I think the aspect of the relationship, not friendship, the aspect of the relationship that 50 and Ja have and 50 and Smurf have is so much different when it comes to in terms of forgiving, just because of the past of the relationship. Every time 50 and Ja have come across each other, it's been relatively negative, seemingly. 50 and Smurf, they do have positive memories in the past. You know what I mean? So that's probably all the type of things that you would have to look into and consider. When you look at the past of Ja and 50, I mean, they had an altercation in Atlanta. They had an altercation in New York, both that were fights. They had the altercation in New York where Ja Rule actually snubbed him. They had another meeting in New York at Jam Master Jay's studio, from what I read in Ja Rule's book, where Ja Rule was told that 50 Cent wasn't that the cool dude by Black Child. There was a whole bunch of different incidents, where their shoulders weren't ever rubbing the right way. I think Jam Master Jay was trying to put 50 and Ja Rule together for a record, which probably would have been great. Hell yeah, man. Smoking on some runts, bro. I like that, George. Truce. It's definitely, squashing the beef, calling a truce, you know, calling a truce, squashing the beef. Yeah, both of those things, man. Smurf is seeing the light. You know what I mean? He's seeing past these issues. You know what I mean? He's seeing through them. He's moving past them. You know what I mean? A lot of you guys probably don't know, but Smurf has actually really been hard at work for the last number of years. Like ever since literally he got deported, he has been working. Like I said, in 2009, I came back with a year worth of blogs. 2011, I went back, came back with another half a year worth of blogs. You know, we was working, you guys. But yeah, man, I really appreciate everybody tapping into the video tonight. I'm going to ask everybody for their last questions. Let's get some last questions, you guys. Who has any questions? What do you guys want to know? Talk to me, everybody. Hit me with your last questions for tonight. I want to know what everybody wants to hear. But please don't ask me any weird questions, you guys. Keep it all relative to hip-hop topics that we want to hear talked about. Last questions for the blog tonight, you guys. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. We had a great show. We're going on 2 hours. We're just over 2 hours and 45 minutes. But I want to make sure if anybody out there has any questions, like I said tonight, we more so focused on 50 Cent, Bang 'em Smurf, ending the beef after 20 years, literally 18 plus years, nearly 18 and a half years. These two have been at odds, and 20 years, I guess we can call it even. I guess we can call it a truce. So everybody ask your last questions. I want to know what you're going to ask. Kimo Savi says, do you think that Meek Mill should part ways with MMG? And does he have any more fire bars? Let me see. Meek Mill parting ways with MMG. Let's be honest, man. Meek Mill has dropped Dreams and Nightmares. Dreams are worth more than money. He's dropped Wins and Losses, Championships. Have all these albums been with MMG? How many more albums does Meek Mill owe MMG? Like, Meek Mill should have fulfilled all of his requirements at MMG. Kimo Savi. Let's be honest, man. The guy's dropped 4 albums at MMG. How many more albums did Rick Ross really sign him for 7 albums? Like, come on. Did you give the man $7 million? Like, I'm sorry, but if somebody signed to somebody $350,000 for 5 albums, that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous if that's the case. Meek Mill has done 4 albums so far. Meek Mill has done 4 albums so far with MMG. How could he possibly owe MMG any more albums? That's absurd. That is absurd to think that Meek Mill would owe Rick Ross any more albums. That's why sometimes I do wish I had Bang 'em Smurf on the show to talk about a topic like that. I'd love to hear what he had to say. Hell, I'd love to hear what Rosewood had to say about it too. But obviously Ross and Meek are tight homies. But I just don't see how Ross could have signed him for any more than 2 or 3 albums. Like it wasn't a $7 or $8 million deal. It wasn't, you know what I mean? We didn't even read about Meek Mill's deal being a $5 million deal. Like Chief Keef had a $6 million deal with Interscope. Like, why would Meek Mill still be owing Ross albums at this point? But everybody ask your last questions. I want to hear what everyone wants to know. Kimo, what'd you think about my answer? Bishop, nah, I don't think that line was about Smurf. The chronic is blown for my dudes that got deported and now they get to go back home. Nah, so many people be getting deported. It's crazy. Like Smurf actually met a couple people on his way that were actually from New York that got deported. And I think he actually got to know them more. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to be doing the DMX album review. Me and RBH, we're going to be doing the DMX album review. Y'all can stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing that review, definitely. And I've got an interview with Hot Boy Turk dropping tomorrow, speaking on the Cash Money Rough Riders tour. And yo, Turk was telling me it got crazy on that tour, you guys. Turk was telling me it got crazy on that tour, y'all. So I hope y'all are going to be tuned in to part 2 of the Turk interview where he speaks on the Cash Money Rough Riders tour. Anyways, guys, we are on to the last questions of the night. Before we get out of here, I'm taking all the questions from the people out there. Anybody out there that wants to ask a question before we get going for the night, you are more than welcome to ask whatever you want. Definitely appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Born Twice asks, who do I think would win if it went to the head-on track on a mixtape Messiah challenge? Cassidy, Chameleonaire, Lil Flip, Hurricane Chris. Oh, you know I'm going with Cassidy, bro. You know I'm going with Cassidy, man. 100%. Everybody in the chat, get your question in right now. I'm taking all final questions. Everybody that has a question for tonight, I will answer it. Let me see. Chemo Savvy said one more question. Do you think female rap or female rappers are going to have any longevity with the way hip hop and rap is going? All right, so let's talk about longevity when it comes to female rap. Look what happened earlier this week with Coi Leray. Look what happened a little bit earlier this week with Coi Leray, you guys. Coi Leray actually went through a whole situation where she was performing in front of a crowd that might have been a little bit too big for her. You know what I mean? She had said in her live video, she was like, yo, I really tried to tell my management team that I wanted to do smaller venues. And maybe right now, Coi Leray could actually use the opportunity to be at a smaller, more intimate venue to build with her fans, to let the fans see her a little bit more up close and to fall in love with her. Now, she caught a lot of criticism because a lot of people weren't reacting. It was almost like they were doing the mannequin challenge while she was up there performing and everybody was standing still. It was pretty embarrassing to Coi Leray, who has been touted as one of the newest, most dope emerging artists. I mean, even people like Vlad and Adam 22 have had her on the channel. She did a deal with Universal that was worth some millions. So this coming out like that is kind of embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But when we talk about longevity, when it comes to female rap, in that situation, Nicki Minaj stuck her arm out and she offered words of advice to Coi Leray. You know what I mean? She offered some words of advice to Coi Leray in that whole situation to let her know that it's going to be all right and let her know that she could persevere. And Coi Leray responded saying that she's going to chalk it up to the game. You know what I mean? So that type of endorsement when it comes to female artists, I think that can provide some longevity. These women actually sticking up for one another. Back in the day, Nicki Minaj faced a whole lot of scrutiny from Little Kim because she said you didn't put on for me well enough. You didn't salute me. You didn't, you know what I mean? You didn't really give me my homage. You didn't pay your homage to me correctly, bringing me out on your tours or featuring me on your single. You know what I'm saying? Giving me a grand entrance. You know what I mean? On your single when it comes to you presenting yourself to the world. Yeah, that would have been great. You know what I mean? But Nicki Minaj, she came out and did her own thing. You know what I mean? She stood on her own 2 feet. Nicki Minaj came out and made her name aside from other women out there that we've seen in the past, like the Brat, like Little Kim, like Foxy Brown. You know what I mean? Like Eve. Nicki Minaj really put herself out there to be the poster woman when it comes to female rap. And you know, Cardi B blowing up on the scene more recently. A lot of people say that title is being questioned, but Nicki Minaj is really proven to she really proved something to me, you guys. Everyone watching this video, Nicki Minaj really proved something to me when she came to Coi Ray's aid, when Coi Ray needs it the most at this particular time. Right now, Coi Ray is almost getting laughed at like on some Ashley Simpson type of vibe, you know, when Ashley Simpson, the sister of Jessica Simpson, actually, you know, got embarrassed on live, you know what I mean? And the whole world was just like, she just signed a big deal. She just dropped an album, a major single, but now it's over for her. You know what I'm saying? Now it got taken right from her. This whole situation could happen to Coi Ray, but Nicki Minaj being a legend, you know what I mean? Being a proper legend, she's coming to her aid, man, and showing her some respect. And I really got to say that is commendable. Salute to Nicki Minaj for sticking up for Coi Ray and making sure that she can have some career longevity, since we're speaking on women's career longevity in this game. But yeah, guys, I'm asking everybody last questions. Everybody hit me with your last questions. If anybody wants to donate, hit that Cash App Mikey T Movie. But also, I'm taking last questions, you guys. Anybody have last question? Hit it for me right now. We just spoke on female rap. We spoke on the Bangum Smurf "I'm So Fly" lyric. I answered I'm going to be doing the DMX album review for his new album. I said Cassidy would go over Chameleonaire. Okay. Yeah, Omar, go check out my interview. I did a bunch of interviews back in the day with Dutch a few years ago. Just type in Mikey T the Movie Star Dutch Major Figures. They'll pop up. Do you really think Lloyd Banks is better than 50 Cent lyrically? Well, Power of the Dollar is like one of my favorite albums of all time. You know what I mean? Power of the Dollar is one of my favorite albums of all time, man. So I can't really say that Banks is better than 50 lyrically. I'm just saying Banks is known to be the most lyrical member of G Unit. DRS Media says, do you ever think Ab will come home? Yes. Yes, I do think Ab will come home. You know what I mean? A lot of people have come back from these hefty sentences. Look what we saw Max B come back from. We saw Max B get sentenced to 75 years in jail, you guys. Max B was sentenced to 75 years in jail, and he actually got his sentence reduced. After years of fighting through appeals, I believe Max went through 2 appeals, and it was a number of years. You know, he got locked up in 2009, and I'm not sure when his appeals had actually cleared through, but by 2013, he was petitioning and on to his second appeal. So it takes a number of years for this shit to actually go through, you guys. But Max ended up getting his sentence reduced from 75 years to 20 years. That is a major reduction in time, you guys. So I'm going to keep faith that Arab could get a similar reduction in time. Max B, they say, could be home this year, you guys. Max B could be coming home this year. He said in a record he got it reduced from 75 to 20 to 12. So we got to look at the positive nature of that and look at Ab's case getting sentenced to 45. You know, we got to look at the positive nature of it. Max B got sentenced to 75. So when you ask the question, if anybody out there is asking the question, will AR Rab come home? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to keep my hopes really high that Ab is going to come home. Do you think Cameron has more classic hits than Jadakiss? Damn, man. Come on. You're putting me on the spot with that one. You are putting me on the spot with that one. Damn. Will Tony Yayo ever drop a second album or his career is over? Will Tony Yayo ever have a second album or his career over? Oh, damn. Bishop is getting a little hasty. All right, man. Never mind that question. Oh, Spade. Yeah, I got an interview with Spade too as well, Omar. Go check it out. I actually did an interview with Spade and Ablava, but then I also did a solo interview with Spade. What's good? Philly in the building. Salute. Primo, my guy. My guy. Major salute. Yeah, we've been going 3 hours tonight. Salute, Chemo. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Do appreciate everybody for tapping in on the show tonight. I know you guys have been waiting for a little update on Bangum Smurf. So when I heard the news that he's decided to call a truce to end the beef with 50 Cent, I wanted to come on here tonight and speak on it, you guys. Major salute to everybody for tapping in. And listen, if you guys aren't following me already, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram already, follow me now. Everybody who follows me live on the chat tonight, everybody who follows me on Instagram right now, I will follow back. Everybody who follows me right now, I will follow you guys back. Follow me on the gram right now, you guys, and I will follow you back immediately. And who knows, man? Maybe I'll pop back in tomorrow night and we'll talk about my issues with Smurf. Or maybe Smurf will join us tomorrow night. Maybe Smurf will join us tomorrow night. Or should I say, maybe Smurf will join us tonight. Maybe Bangum Smurf will join us tonight on live and talk. And Smurf and I can hash out our problems man to man, wolf to wolf. Will you accept the challenge, Bangum Smurf, and come on to my YouTube channel and we can discuss the issues that we have with one another in front of the public, on the platform? We'll have to wait and see if Smurf will accept that. Everybody that chops up your little blogs, chop it up. Mikey T challenges Bangum Smurf tonight on YouTube Live. The challenge is out there, Smurf. Let's do this. Everybody, follow me right now on Instagram. Anybody that's not following me already, follow me right now. I'm going to give you that immediate follow back. Nah, man, I'm a wolf. That's my middle name. Wolf. Iceberg, my middle name is literally Wolf. So that's why I said Wolf the Wolf. Yeah, it's Mike Wolf. Nah, I ain't a bear, man. I'm a wolf. It's my middle name. I'm waiting, yo. I'm waiting. Let me go see who followed me. I'm going to follow you guys back. Let me see who just followed me. I'm going to follow y'all back right now. If anybody even followed me. Sometimes y'all already follow me and shit. Sometimes y'all are just like, yo, Mike, honestly, I don't want to follow you, bro. Hold on. 4 new followers. That's it. Nobody wants to follow me. Legendary, I got you. Following you back right now, man. Kef, following you back right now, even though you were talking mad shit earlier. It seemed like we got on the right track. Everybody that follows me right now. Everybody that follows me. Yeah, I know you don't be knowing much about his shit. So you don't really be knowing that. But yeah. But yeah, everybody that follows me right now on Instagram, I'm gonna follow you guys back. Hold on, who do we got right here? J Dell. I'm following you back, J Dell. Everybody that follows me right now, I'm following you guys back. Everybody go follow me right now on the gram. The shit's right here. I just pinned it up actually. Everybody that follows me, I'm gonna follow you guys back. Nah, I think that's a wolf iceberg. Oh, ain't nobody fucking with the wolf pack. How'd that shit go? How'd that shit go back in the day? Oh, ain't nobody fucking with the wolf pack. How'd that shit go, iceberg? Do you remember what I'm talking about? Shit was hilarious back in the day when like Conan and Sting would come out with when Conan and Sting would come out with all the wolf pack shit on. Probably gonna leave in a body bag. Shit was hilarious, man. Yeah, I just followed you back, G's. I just followed you back, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. See, I followed this guy back, and he's actually just a Cash App dude. He's actually just like a fraud account. Let me see. Let me see. All right, I got another follower. Chino XLB. Chino X1B. I just followed you back. What are you from Trinidad, bro? Is that the Trinidadian flag? Guys, before I get out of here, can I get any movie suggestions? Is that possible? Is it possible to get a movie suggestion before we end the broadcast tonight? Yeah, no, it was like one of those cryptocurrency people that be hitting you up on like Instagram. You know how like the people with the weed be hitting you up? Keith Reed, I really appreciate you for tapping in regardless, man. I already seen Prometheus 1017 Roman. Appreciate the suggestion. Do you have any others? Yeah, Keith Reed. I appreciate you keeping it real, and hopefully I gained a subscriber tonight with you. Yeah, I saw Prometheus with Matthew no. I saw Prometheus directed by Ridley Scott. It was like the prequel to Alien. I'm not watching the Chi. Why don't you just watch The Pest Iceberg with John Leguizamo if you're watching that? Jesus. I already watched Alien Covenant. I already watched the sequel, man. I just watched Held as well, which is about this couple getting trapped in like a house together. That's real shit, Keith Reed. He said, and you did, meaning he's a subscriber. I look forward to you tuning into the live videos, man. I haven't done any videos on Smurf in a long time, just because, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people thought I would be on here talking about Smurf all the time, but I was just like, yo, we don't need to focus on one topic on my channel. Never how we did it before. Like my channel, it's like it's broad. It's more broad than just being about one thing. But don't get it twisted. I got a lot of love for Smurf, you know what I mean? Oblivion with Tom Cruise. That's actually a good idea. That's actually a good idea. I never really got the meaning of what that movie was about. Yo, Tyson, what's popping, man? Without Remorse was awesome. Without Remorse was awesome. Oh, Jeff. Oh, Jeff. Okay, Jeff. I got you, Jeff Reed. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. And I followed you back. The Chi is a short for Chicago. The Chicago. It's a series on Showtime channel, not no Animal Planet stuff, Mikey. No, I didn't think it was no Animal Planet stuff, Iceberg. Come on, man. And 1017 Roman, another good suggestion, but I already have seen Interstellar. That was actually with Matthew McConaughey. Weed Child, what's popping with you, bro? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Again, everybody that follows me on the gram, I will follow you guys back immediately. Let me see, just everybody go follow me on Instagram. It's pinned up right now if you're not already. It's hilarious. I might do Oblivion, though. I might do Oblivion. Triple Nine with Paul Walker. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, Bishop, I hear you. Bishop, didn't you hear me say I'm going to be the one dropping Tony Yayo's second album? Didn't you hear me say I'm going to be the one? I'm going to be the one that drops Tony Yayo's second album. He wanted to call it 50s tax write-off. Nah, we're calling it Mikey T's tax write-off. But I'm just bidding, man. Tony Yayo is really my favorite rapper in G Unit. Somebody tell Tony Yayo to put that on his Instagram. Put him saying that Mikey T said Tony Yayo is my favorite rapper in G Unit. I'm not embarrassed to say that. All my friends always used to say I was crazy for Yayo, you know what I mean? But yo, the way Yayo came off on all the verses on the G Unit mixtapes, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Like, that's why everybody thought like Yayo was going to make such a big blast in the industry. But this is a topic for another video, you guys, because Yayo wanted to come out and sell X amount of units. But we're going to talk about that another video, you guys. We're definitely going to talk about that another video that's more fresh. Yeah, Bishop, we'll talk about that another video, bro. But I gave Tony Yayo his sound blurb, his sound what it was sound, his sound, you know what I mean, his sound bite. He can use it. Mikey T says Tony Yayo was the best in G Unit. Yeah, hell, let 50 put it up on his. Iceberg, 1 second. Iceberg, wow. Wow. Hold on. Let me see if my boy picks up. Yo, Tyson, I'm not going to watch Requiem for a Dream. I watched that before. I might do Oblivion, though, just because I want to figure out what the whole thing is with it. My boy's probably with his chick right now or something. My dude is such a bachelor. My boy sees.
Your call has been forwarded to...
Yep, Bishop, I'm right there with you, bro. But all right, you guys, we're going to call it a wrap on this video tonight. But hell, I'll say it. If anybody wants this video to continue, hit that Cash App. If you want the video to continue, hit that Cash App. Otherwise, we're going to call it a night. Super Chat or Cash App if you want this video to continue. Otherwise, I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. I've been thinking about creating a membership page. I just got to do the final step in it. Better late than never. You're dope, man. I agree. Better late than never, man. Better late than never. 100%, man. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight, man. Really appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight, man. Y'all showed me that you guys are the realest fans. You know what I mean? The realest supporters. Like on the real, y'all. I really appreciate everybody. I really appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight and made this a successful podcast. You know what I mean? I know some other people, I've watched other people that go 3 hours on their YouTube podcasts, and sometimes they do 3 episodes that are 3 hours, and they consider that all one episode in a weekend. You know, but I think what I'm doing here is pretty cool. Eventually I'm going to get it as a more of an official setup podcast, but I really like what I'm doing. I really like what I'm doing right now. Mikey T, you still the VP of Smurf's company? Well, I mean, tonight we're not talking about me and Smurf so much. Smash that like button, y'all. We're over 100 likes right now. 59 people in here. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button right now. Let's get that up to 125, you guys. Damn. He does. He still loves me, man. He still loves me. He said I'm little bro. He said I was the vice president. He said, Queens Flip, you know, like how I got love for you? He said, you know how like I got love for you? I know Smurf's got love for me. And I told Queens Flip, I was like, yo, I'm glad you put that out there, bro. I'm glad you put that out there. Because in all honesty, like Smurf, I would never have anybody come on my platform to diss Smurf. And that should be well known. And I'm glad that Queens Flip got that over on his channel, because Smurf was like, nah, they didn't diss me. And Queens Flip was like, what? They didn't diss you, so what are you mad at him for? But we're going to leave it at that, because tonight I wanted to come on here and talk about Smurf making amends, as one of the, as Eddie says in the chat. Eddie says 50 and Smurf can't make amends. Nah, Smurf is done with it, man. 18 and a half years, Eddie. And Smurf is done. Bon voyage! He's waving goodbye. He's letting it sail away. Smurf is letting it sail away into the past. He's done with it. Goodbye! He's moving on. He's moving on with his life, and shit, man. Why not? You know what I mean? Smurf is at a good point in his life to just leave all that shit behind him. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think he won't talk about them in a negative context anymore. Now, remembering his history, I think that is valuable. I think Smurf remembering his history is valuable. All of his history, from the Lost Boys to G Unit to the association with Maybach Music to his relationship with Coke Boys, Chinks, and French Montana. You know what I mean? It is his music history, you guys. But all right, you guys. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. About to get out of here. Follow me on the gram. It's pinned up right now. If anybody wants to follow me on the gram, you can follow me right now, and I will follow you back. I will follow you back right now. Shit, I see everybody's just seeing the Bon Voyage part.